Hello and welcome to the JDL Season 4 Power Rankings this is our Season 4 our Uber season, aka JDL, probably JDL Unleashed. Compared to previous seasons, this season has a much higher power level. We've allowed a lot of restricted Uber legendary Pokemon in with some limitations on what can be drafted, and some of them do have some move restrictions.
I missed my grunt on Primal.
That thing
No
was
one
never
dropped
being allowed.
Arceus, by the way.
Yeah. Um, Besides that, we've also allowed some higher ranked Pokemon to become Terra Captains. Not everything you'd normally see in a typical draft, but a lot more that you wouldn't see is now available. I'm joined by right now we've got Aurora, Evan, Parker, and Skye, and let's jump into it. We'll go alphabetical through the teams. So Aurora, you're up first. If you want to break down your team.
Okay, so let me set the scene here. I was at work when the draft started, and my original plan did not even involve Xerneas at all. Xerneas did not become a plan until the point value for Ubers got increased to 50, and then I realized I could draft another Uber alongside Zern. But I I think I jumped the gun a little. I should have thought a bit more about it. My initial plan was going to be drafting one of the higher tier megas from the tier. Um, Kind of the way Metagross got drafted third, but my thinking was going to be Mega Lucario at that point. I ended up with Xerneas. Lugia was kind of a panic pick as well, of just Mega Latias had gotten taken. That was my planned next pick, and I wasn't sure what to do. Lily suggested Lugia. Terrahedran I do still like. Bax, I don't know why I drafted that. Alomomola, good. I like it. Crook, good. Arboliva is on the team. Substrika, I literally just wanted a Pokemon faster than 110, but it's still not fast. And then Primeape and Banette are here as fodder. So that's about all. This team sucks. Sorry. This is not a good team.
Well, I'm going to say right off the bat, I think you do have some really good defensive tools on this team. You've got a lot of bulky Pokemon. I mean, Lugia is known for, I think, being one of like the bulkier legendaries. In a typical draft, Arboliva, really good. Really good, actually, like mid-tier bulk Pokemon. I mean, 78, 90, and 109. It's going to probably lean more towards that special side by default, but it's still good. I mean, I don't think I need to break down a little Mola. Everyone here knows how much of a pain that thing can be.
I've actually never
fuck-ass
heard of
fish.
Alomomola
Fucking
before.
hate it,
What
man.
is that
Fucking
Pokemon?
fish.
Yeah.
Fuck that stupid fish.
I think Terrahedran. I'm biased towards Heatran personally, but I think Terrahedran especially is phenomenal. For how many points it's worth, like that bulk might feel some underwhelming, especially with no recovery. But I disagree. I think probably typically Terra Grass or like in some cases Bug is like a default. It's probably going to be typically more a defensive Terra for sure instead of an offensive one. And I think it works really well with that. One of my biggest takeaways is though I think with Heatran you do really want to actually have some like, this sounds bizarre, but some actually more fire weak Pokemon on the team to take advantage of Flash Fire. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see the vision.
Yeah. Just looking through like other parts. So I think as you said, your speed does right now. It caps at 116 with Terra's Zebstrika, and I think Zebstrika actually is a very solid Terra Captain. I think there's 3 main types you're probably going to go on it typically, maybe 4, and that's like Electric for higher stab, Water because then you can play like Lightning Rod, Motor Drive, and Sap Zipper games where your opponent has to guess depending on the matchup which ability you have, and which of your weaknesses you're now no longer weak to. Ground for higher power, high horsepowers, because I don't believe Zebstrika gets Terra Blast, does it?
It does. It gets Terra Blast.
It does get Terra Blast. Okay. That
Pretty sure everything is Terra Blast.
No, only stuff
Nah,
that's
not
in this
everything.
gen
No.
gets Terra Blast. So if
Only
it's
things
not
that were in
available
Oh.
in Scarlet and Violet, it doesn't get Terra Blast.
Ooh,
I can talk
did
about
not.
that.
I didn't even like thought about it.
Yeah.
I just figured Terra Blast is like new hidden power.
No, yeah, because it's the only Pokemon that have been able to like learn it in a game.
Yeah.
So if they've not been in the game, they can't get it.
Right.
Okay, and then so I was gonna say like I think ground for like those higher sport horsepowers and just is very good. And then also I think fairy is a very solid option as well. Just I mean fairy is always a good option. I will say I think you've got some very
116.
yeah, it's the highest with 116 speed. I think yes, so we've got some very good defensive tools. I think you have some very obvious like game-winning ones, probably mainly coming through like Xerneas and Baxcalibur, I want to say. I mean, unlike Season 2, Bax has no restrictions. It's got full... It can use its dice. That was the only restriction in Season 2, but yeah, you've got your dice back, which is very good. Looking at your move sets, I do feel like you've got good hazard options. These two guys are always happy to run hazards like most weeks. I do think you're missing on some removal a bit.
Yes.
I don't think Xerneas really wants to run defog.
You know, today I learned that thing gets defog. So like,
Did you learn it right now?
why is the deer get defog?
The deer move set. You should just take a look at Xerneas' whole move set. It's insane. It's awesome.
I know it gets Mega
ridiculous.
Horn. I do think.
I think
It's really
Xerneas
good.
might be the best Uber in like a draft format, even without Geomancy.
Xerneas gets outraged for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah, you can run that thing physical. It's like nuts.
Oh yeah,
That-
no,
that
I think
Pokemon is
think
crazy.
physical
I will say,
Xerneas is a legitimate option.
Yeah, I will say my favorite thing about the Gen 6 cover Pokemon, what are they called? Box Legends? Exact same.
Yeah.
To the point. To the singular digit stat spread.
Yeah.
They can both be physical or special, and they're both it.
Yeah, I know. I
126
think.
is nothing to laugh at when you have 90 when you have no defense below 90.
Yeah, no, I think Xerneas is. I agree with it being one of the best like for draft format. I think even without Geomancy, it's got very good defensive and offensive options. It can be a utility mon. It can be a sweeper with like Scarf or Specs or Band, even as we were discussing. I think my biggest concern still that hazard removal definitely. I would just like to see like a rapid spinner on there, just because I do feel like, although I think with the higher power format, hazards won't be as much of a thing for a lot of teams. I think just having that more like reliable removal option, like when needed, could be very helpful, especially because I'm not sure you guys saw this team is missing a grounded poison. It does have
There's
a bit of-
Crocodile.
Oh, that's not a poison type.
Good
Parker.
enough.
But you said ground and poison, did you not?
Grounded poison.
Grounded.
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 Oh.
It's also the ground dark, dumbass.
Well, I knew that, but I thought she said ground and poison, like
It
two
was
different
grounded-
things.
Grounded poison
Oh.
is better than T-spikes.
Yeah, but there's no poison.
Yeah, I
had
know what you
talked
mean now.
with Skye, and I had specifically said, yeah, grounded poison is something I definitely need for this team to work. And then I just seemingly forgot to draft one, so that's cool.
Happens.
I'll lend you mine for a week. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Yeah, the only reason it's really of a concern to me is like because also looking at this team, we discussed how good Terahedron is, but when it's the team's only fairy type resist, that has me a little bit like there's gonna be matches where like you might be very torn between can I afford to Terra it because now their fairy types can just like go ham.
We should buff fairy types even further to make them resist themselves.
No, I don't think we should do that. That means that
I
like,
think Substriker's gonna put in work.
I think Zipstrika with as like a pivot option is going to be very good for this team. Same with Mola. I will say, I feel like you could maybe put that. I like the type of narrative Striker. I feel like there could be other options for it potentially though, like a Terra on like Mola or Arboliva, or not Mola, Primeape or Arboliva, but I don't know.
this team is not going to be the same pretty soon. So.
Okay.
A few of these guys will be shot. Will be taken out back.
Taken out back.
So this is not only. Oh. Let's see, because I know.
Question: if you Terra out of Ghost, and you're a Ghost type, does your curse still?
No, your curse will do the other one. It'll be.
You should totally get Terra Banette and go physical with curse.
Yeah, if you tear out a ghost, it'll take away the nuclear HP to kill something.
That's awesome.
Excalibur may be getting taken out back.
Well, I'll say like if you did want more. So for 20 points, you could grab like I'm trying to think of what you could grab for. Well, there's your speed. No, with 20 points,
speed.
You could grab Sneasler. That brings you up to 120, and does give you that grounded poison.
True.
I was during my plan. I saw that Dracovish, and I was so sad it was 20.
Yeah, I was also looking at Dracovish, but that thing is going to do one thing.
That's the issue with Dracofish. It's like
it
it's
does
one of those...
that one thing so well though.
Exactly, it does one thing, but unless a team has an answer to that thing, it has to be that value.
Because I was looking at,
like it's a lot of other like specialized for defense.
What weather speed ability does it get? It's
Sand
rain
Rush.
and is it just
Sand Rush because it gets strong. Sand Rush, Strong Jaw, and Water Absorb.
Okay, I remember I was looking at some sort of like weather pivot, and I was like, oh, Dracovish exists as a Pokemon. Can it Terra? No. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
That was my thought process.
I think there's some very good parts of this team. I do think defensively, this team has some very good backbones. I think you've got some great utility. And I think it does have some very clear win cons on it. I think for now, I would say, how do I feel about B tier for it?
I'll fucking take it.
We take those.
B tier.
Well, what were you expecting?
C.
Oh, I'm gonna let you guys in a little spoiler. I don't think anyone's in D tier.
I'd be shocked if an Uber Sleek team ended up in D tier.
Yeah, no. This is going to be empty when
guys,
we're done.
I'm changing my entire draft. I'm D tier maxing now.
All right.
I might also do that.
Let's go.
Race to the bottom. So moving on, we have because I think unless there's anyone else has any final thoughts on Aurora's team, or Aurora, if you have any
I think
final
multiple
thoughts.
people should go D tier maxing and do a little like mini season inside the season.
So what, you're grabbing like 11 of these guys?
Yeah.
More. I want to see a team with 2 Ubers and then what's the max? 11 and then 9 Little Cup Pokemon. That'd be nice.
I don't have any thoughts on my team further to give.
Let someone draft 2 Arceuses and then 9 Little Cups.
I was soft trying to push Tim because I knew it used to be one of his favorite Pokemon to draft Arceus Bug.
I thought about Arceus Bug for a long time. Don't worry.
So moving on, we have Austin's team. Austin has...
This team scares me.
Austin's team is scary as fuck.
Tapu Koko, Iron
like this guy for getting 3 irons.
Iron Treads, Terra Iron Leaves,
yeah,
Primal Kyogre, Moltres, Mega Scizor, Lunatone, Alolan Muck, and Alolan Executor. He's also got 2 Alolan guys.
That doesn't matter.
Oh my god.
No, I just think it's funny.
So, okay, Alolan Muck is a, it's one of those Pokemon. It's a Poison Dark type. One weakness. That thing will always be a menace to any team because of that. The real problem is the Koko followed by 3 Iron Pokemon.
This team's already scary.
Primal Kyogre.
And then there's also Primal Kyogre.
I'm
No,
terrified.
no, guys. Primal Kyogres are bait, guys. Trust.
This team would be scary with a 12-point water type. But actually, the water type is Primal Kyogre.
Primal Kyogre
Honestly,
is about to get walled by Quagsire.
I'm just saying.
True.
Where's the Iron Bundle?
Where is the Iron
The Iron Bundle's at home where it belongs. I don't think this team needs Iron Bundle. I don't think this team wants Iron Bundle.
I was really sad because I really wanted Iron Treads. But this team is
It's
really scary.
Also,
the
Moltres
Mega
and
Scissor
Mega
pickup's
Scizor,
crazy.
like,
Yeah.
nothing to scoff at.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Moltres and Mega Scissor I think are both phenomenal. They're really good pivot tools. My first thought was like when I first saw this team I was like, oh yeah, Mega Scissor in the rain. That sounds tough. And then I was like, wait a second, that's not how Primordial Sea works.
No, that thing is just gonna. I'm scared of Primal Kyogre.
Yeah, I think Primal Kyogre is definitely going to be. No, I think why would exactly no. I think Scizor would be very good in rain. That's what I was saying. I was like, oh, that's gonna be tough to deal with. And I was like, wait a minute, that's not how that ability works. But yeah, I think Coco Val. It's two fairy types, but it's two really good fairy types that work off each other. This team has a lot of good options on both sides. So you've got like two very good special win cons with Primal Kyogre and then Valiant, and then you've got a lot of good physical ones with Valiant as well, and then also Leaves and Treads,
Yeah.
and physical Primal Kyogre.
Because like with
And
Iron
Scizor.
Leaves allowed to Terra, it's gonna hurt a lot.
Yeah,
Because with easy access to electric terrain from Coco, you can easily just run Abandoned Leaves with Terra, and
especially
even
it is
if it
especially worth
lives,
considering.
Nothing wants to get hit by that.
Compared to previous seasons, we have allowed unbanned Weather Rocks, Terrain Extenders, and Light Clay. So Coco, I think Terrain Extender might not even be the biggest buff for Coco there. I think the Light Clay being unbanned actually also benefits Coco a lot because Coco can run dual screen sets really well now.
Everything on this team you have to prepare for it, and there's like too much to prepare for on this team.
Yeah,
I think, you're easily getting overwhelmed.
Yeah, I very much agree. I think this guy, Lunatone and Executor, are the ones are the only two you don't have to think about in this team, and that's 8 Pokemon that are all going to give you problems.
I won't even say Muck's not going to give you problems. That thing is going to give you problems.
No, it is. It is. I'm saying it is. I'm saying Lunatone and Alolan Executor you won't have to
Oh, I
think
thought you said Muck and Executor.
No. Alolan Muck can be very frustrating. It's a really good AV mon. This team also has like really good switch-ins because I think if we look, U-turn, Volt Switch, and even then like Memento and Teleport.
The only
Go on, Skye.
the only thing that this team is not gonna like super like is a physical wall breaker, because this team doesn't have a lot of options for physical defense. Like other than Mega Caesar, that you really don't have much above 100.
Yeah, you got like
You have Mega
physical
Caesar
tread,
and Tread, and that's it. Like a physical ground Pokemon is gonna like this team a lot.
I mean, one of the biggest. I mean, then you have Moltres to deal with. If you get burnt, well, that's trouble. I think one of the bigger things is I think the teams you really only have 2.5 real hazard removals, being like Moltres and Treads, and then Coco can run it, but like I don't think it's ever. Coco has kind of 4 moveslot syndrome, but like also not, because it can kind of do anything.
Yeah, you don't even really like. All you really need is Volt Switch, and like.
Yeah.
and then you're golden. Like you can run like Nature's Madness and just be like an asshole, or you can just run like Scarf and some attacks. You know, it's like. But the thing is, you're getting the terrain, and you're enabling 3 mons with it.
Yeah. I think. I mean, obviously, like Treads is going to be less quote unquote enabled. I mean, it still is definitely enabled by the terrain. I think the hazard you definitely have less hazards, but again, I think as we said, like as well with like Aurora seems you don't in an Uber's format. I think hazards aren't really as big an issue, or like not having those hazard options is as big an issue. Like obviously, you will want like rocks, but like treads is gonna be your go-to rocks. Maybe you would want to have like a spike Skye, but I think it's fine as well.
I think the main thing is like with treads being easy access to electric terrain again is going to make treads less likely to want to run rocks because it'll tend to be more offensive.
I mean, yes and no, because then it can run more like bulky utility sets with like rocks, rapid spin, volt switch, EQ as well still, and be really good in that role. So, but like I think that's what kind of points more towards like one of the big things about this team has a lot of variety in what it can run. I would say these top 3 guys, they could run probably a different set every single week of the season, and then still have more options for playoffs. Like I think this team has a lot of utility, or like not a lot of utility, but like a lot of like variance in it. That's gonna be very good to prep for. I think this is an S tier team. I don't know if anyone disagrees, or does anyone else have any thoughts?
I agree.
No, I agree.
That shit's fucked up.
So, does anyone have any closing thoughts on this team besides that it looks really good?
I'm still scared of Primal Kyogre.
I don't know. I think the one pitfall this might run into is that there's like a lot of things that are faster.
Yeah.
Like 130 in the realm of Ubers, not the slowest, but like you are getting outrun by like a couple things.
There's a lot of teams that this is faster than. Certainly, but there's also a lot of teams that do outspeed that mark.
Yeah,
with the speed stuff, like whoever's facing this team you can likely expect that if any of these iron Pokemon come, it's going to be proto speed.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
like you can just prep for it to be definitely proto speed.
Mm-hmm. No, they absolutely will be. All right, so moving on, we have Ben's team.
Benito.
Ben's team is Hawlucha, Megalodios, Ogerpon Wellspring, Arcanine, Indeedee, Houndstone, Terra King Gambit, Terra Hisui and Avalugg, Hatterene, and Clodsire. One of the first things I noticed, this team has a lot of psychic types.
Yeah.
This team kind of likes to just sit there and be fat, I think.
Yeah. I think I like this team a lot because outside of 2 Pokemon, it looks like your average draft team, draft plan, like drafted team in that Dex draft.
And then there's Megalodios
and Terra King Gambit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like outside of those 2 Pokemon, this is your normal everyday like stall team here.
I don't even know if I'd consider this a stall team.
I wouldn't consider it a stall team, but it is definitely a slow-paced team.
Yeah.
Like,
I will say off the bat, I am shocked no Terra and Indeedee here.
I think part of it is I think he had considered Terra Avalugg at that point. I think Terra Avalugg is very good, especially as a like physical wall.
yeah, I was considering picking up a Terra Avalugg for a while, but even though you just dropped one, I'm not even gonna pick it up. But like,
yeah, I don't think I would
that
agree.
thing is gonna. It's just kind of like not easy to take down, because especially in Ubers, a lot of things have like beefed up stats, so you need something with a beefed up defense.
Yeah.
Can I
So
add
it's
something
like-
to the conversation here?
Yes,
Sure.
yes, Parker.
I've been talking to Ben, and he's thinking of dropping Hatterene for Galvantula or Smeargle. What do we think about this?
He told me that was. I agree with Hatter saying that I don't think the power level of this team is very high. I feel inclined to agree because I think beyond the like Tarek and Gambit, I think this is another team that has only one Uber, and I think the one Uber it has compared to other teams with only one Uber has a much lower power level single Uber with the Megalodios.
Galvantula also just looks nice because I think he would definitely benefit from webs.
That is true.
Because he
feel
does
like-
have also a slow team on average.
Oh yeah, this is big.
Like I'm burning Halucha is going to be crazy, but like Latios, other than that, Latios is your fastest Pokemon. Or Ogerpon with like a scarf.
Don't exactly. That for me, like just stat wise because like the little thoughts are expensive for the thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I think the Terra King Gambit is definitely because this is one thing that when I told about the in DD was that like I feel like it will run into like you will have that crossover with King Gambit where it's now you can't sucker for a period of time.
Yeah.
I don't see Indeedee and King Gambit showing up in the same teams very often at all.
I think the 3 psychic types is a little like I thought with Indeedee was also then like you get that like super fast Hawlucha, but I think that is it's almost anti-synergistic in that regard. But I think
he should drop in DD, pick up Galarian Weezing, and get a different terrain.
actually
Galarian Weezing's kind of goated. I'm not gonna lie.
is Galarian Weezing not taken?
I
Haven't had it.
It was dropped.
Oh, it was dropped. Yeah. Okay. Then yeah. Ooh, that could be a good pickup for Bam. Because the biggest worry with like the dropping of Hatterene is like then you don't have a fairy, and I think as far as fairies go, I think Hatterene's a very solid option as well.
Yeah, if I was gonna drop a psychic on this team, it would be in DD.
Yeah.
But with the anti-synergies aside, I think whatever he chooses to do, he will like. There's still some power here.
Yeah.
Like the Ogerpon and with
Yeah. I do think like
Terra King Gambit.
I think Tarek and Gambit's definitely the big guy to look at on this team. However, I've always felt like when it comes to draft compared to like OU, King Gambit has always felt like it struggles a bit more to me. Just because I think it is compared to like the other high threat Pokemon, I feel like it does have a bit more of like not readable, but well, yeah, readable and like dealable with flaws. I mean, one of the others I've seen is like looking at your momentum options. You're kind of lacking. You have very good hazard control. I like Hisui and Avalok. I think is happy to run. Rabbit spin a lot of time. You've got good hazard options yourself, but like also only 2 knockoffs and 2 U-turns. I really feel like you might like want a Volt Switch or a Flip Turn, just something else, and like another item removal could be very nice. Also, yeah, I do. It feels on the weaker side compared to a lot of other teams.
I agree.
Like I want to say I wish this more than other teams even maybe had a second Uber.
What's even like the options for a second Uber though at this point?
I mean, for here
He took
Latios.
He took Latias, so he can grab any of them but the RCSs.
Yeah, I mean, Blaziken Mega could be good.
He's already
Well,
got a
you can't
Mega.
with Megaladios.
Oh,
Yeah.
Giratina Origin could be good.
Ooh. That's just adding
Up
more
the
to
Houndstone.
that's just adding more to the defense that I don't think.
That's true.
I don't know about this, but at one point I know Ben was considering Blood Moon Ursaluna. I don't know if this would be good.
I mean, I mean,
My biggest issue as
you'd
well.
have to change his draft around.
Yeah, I think you'd really
Like-
change your draft around there. My other issue is I think this is still a bit on the slower side of teams, and that would not be helping it. To be fair,
I mean, you could always just go like full nuclear and run Trick Room. That'd be funny.
I have words on single Trick Room.
No, I know it's definitely not good. But if you have Hatterene, you like, what else are we doing here? Like, a really fast Hisuian Evela could be like scary.
No, those body presses would be terrifying. No, yeah.
I think he should run as slow as possible and run Trick Room. Final thoughts?
I love you, Trick Room.
If only there's
room
Pokemon
service.
that got like Sandstream for Trick Room.
Yeah, if only there was a Trick Room setting Pokemon. That would be not fun in VGC.
New Dialga hidden ability, but is base Dialga taken?
Yeah, I got it.
Oh yeah. But I feel like, yeah, I think this team feels slow and like it's not like. What are some of the bulkier? Ubers?
I would consider even dropping Mega Latios altogether and picking up like Dio Attack.
I think that would be a great improvement for this team actually. And
then you could also even pick up a different, like you could still pick up 2 Ubers with that.
Yeah, you could even pick up
You could Blaziken Mega right after.
Yeah,
You
that would be a
pick up
lot of
Dialga
your
Origin,
points.
which is not good, but like, you do you, man.
I don't know, would like Kyurem benefit this team at all?
Base Kyurem? I mean, I think base Kyurem has a very good power level, but I think if the issue is still speed, it's going to be in this I think is it 90 or 95? 95. So it would still be tied with Indeedee and Arcanine. So it wouldn't really help the speed that much.
Nah.
That's what I think.
Mega Latios. You could also just pick up Blaziken Mega.
Yeah.
You could
Mega
just
sounds good.
you could just go entirely fast. Like drop Mega Latios and then DD, and how many points is that? Just
Mega
off that.
Latios and Indeedee. I think that would be.
And like Houndstone, and then try to get 3 different things.
So if you drop
Huh.
I think so. This is 22, 13, 7. So that'd give you 42 if you drop Arcanine and DD. Oh,
42.
Houndstone. So 48 or no 50. You get full 50 if you drop Megalodios, Arcanine, and DD Houndstone. So you could grab
Dio Attack, Blaziken Mega,
Yeah.
and Abra.
or even grab a different. If you're grabbing a new fighting type, you could grab something besides Hawlucha. Keep in DD and then go expanding force on Dio Attack.
Would
Oh yeah, just drop Hawlucha too, and then get another mon.
Makes me look
is Urshifu single good?
Yeah.
Yes, but you do have the Dark type already with King Gambit, which I do still think the King Gambit and DD thing.
Pick up Zeraora even.
Yeah, I think this team does have options, but I think it does need a change.
Bro, I want to see Darmanitan Galar on that guy's team. That's what I want to see.
Dude,
For no reason.
Starman Galar is one of the most fun mons of all time.
So is this
Um,
is this a C tier team? Need some fixes, but in like some or do we is this actually is this D tier?
I
Right
think
now.
it's
I
C
think-
tier with potential of A. I'll say.
what?
He's got to make some changes. It could be an A tier team.
Oh,
Are we like is this
Potential.
like a? Oh, I unplugged my headphones. Oh, shit.
I don't know. I would say like a low C
Oh,
or
shit.
like D. I think he definitely needs to make
Chair leg.
like a lot of changes.
How the fuck does that
A lot of the
happen?
changes would
What happened to
Okay.
Jay?
Yeah.
the ring. Oh,
Yeah. Achilles is dead.
Nope, I'm back.
Welcome back.
So yeah, I think
just the fact that there's anti-synergy on this team could probably land it in D. But like, and the fact that to change, like to get a better team, you'd have to change your whole draft around. I don't know. I think C is fair, but
I'd put it C. Because I mean, Ben's aware. I think it's inevitable changes will happen to this team.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Personally, yeah, like because I think
Stuff.
like the stuff like the
I agree.
Halucha and DD, Hatterene, like I think there is. I think there is some synergies. I think there's
Good
some
drafts
that
can also do bad.
don't work together. I think there's some parts that don't work together, but I think there's some parts that very much do, which does make me more go towards C. Ben, we got some ideas for you.
Yes.
So moving on, Evan, you want to break down your team for us? I'm gonna put it in draft order so you can break them down.
Yeah,
a bit.
sure.
It's not
That's
actually
not even
already
the draft
drafted.
order.
It's order by point value. So
Yeah, I picked up Lele because there was a lot of psychics in the pool and Ubers, and I was just like, I would be happy with any of them. So I picked up Mewtwo, which is the one with the most coverage, the highest the most fun stat spread. And I picked
Ball
up
against
Megalopony.
LeBron.
Yeah, I picked up Megalopony, so which is just I think a good blanket check to things that check psychic types. Normal to have that ghost immunity and scrappy and fighting to hit dark, and I can still hit the ghosts as well with scrappy. And then I think it kind of falls apart after that. And I just kind of drafted things that I thought were funny. I don't have G Weezing anymore or Smeargle.
oh my god,
Actually
wait, I
had-
didn't update this. Yeah, hang on.
I have instead hold on. I have Terra Quagsire and Hisui and Quillfish.
Wait.
It's
Quagsire
Galar
as well.
Weezing that would bring up that terrain, right? Evan doesn't have it anymore, so
Yeah, it's
I don't
but it's
think
misty
we need to worry
terrain,
about
so
that.
it's misty terrain.
Wait, who?
Um,
Oh, you also dropped got Miss Magius over, was it Bronzong? No.
no, it's Silvally.
Ah.
Yeah, so it's Miss Magius over Silvally, which is 11. Yeah.
No, it's Lele's terrain would block the fake out. Not
Oh, Lele's terrain?
Mhm.
I see.
Yeah,
the good terrain.
yeah,
Um,
but it's for not knocking out my fake out on Megalopony. I do get multiple mons with expanding force, so I don't know. I still have a lot of special damage going out there, but I think I'm kind of lacking on the physical side. I've been thinking about things to drop, but I'm just not quite sure. But I think it'll be a fun team to play around with.
So go. I
I
mean,
especially like Z Bombardier.
I think Zero Bombardier is very
What
funny.
a great pick.
I like the Terra Volcanion actually a lot as well. I think Volcania's got.
Terrible Canyon's going to be a little bit awkward, but I think I can make it work.
I think Volcanion has quite a few Terra types that it's happy to run stab.
It likes to be electric and ground.
I was gonna say
and
ground
like,
is one
you
of the big
can-
ones, I think, because you now are immune to electric resist rock, and
Mhm.
that's very good. I was going to bring up that you're missing a lot of like key types, and then you reminded me of the type team changes you made, and never mind what I was saying. Because I was about to say, like, yeah, you're missing a ground type, you're missing a ghost. I think you really want those. Nope, you got those. So and that's good. I think those are good, solid like lower tier options for it as well. I think expanding Force Mewtwo is fun for people to deal with. I would agree to say with you in saying that you are lacking on the physical side. I think it is really comes down to Megalopony in a lot of ways. I will say we talked about like the fake out. No fake out with Megalopony I think does really suck. But Megalopony isn't the only victim of this, of the psychic terrain kind of hindering it on this team. Bombardier loves to run Sucker Punch, and it can't now. Or it can, but it's a bit more limited.
Yeah,
oh my god!
No,
Oh wait, yeah. Wait.
What?
Is it... Yeah, Bombardier... Okay, oh right, yeah. Sorry. I always forget if it's like flying types can use them or can't.
they can.
They can.
Yeah, it's only when you're grounded. Like
is it able to be hit by, or can it hit them as well? Because if it can hit non-grounded things, or if it can't. Hit
I don't think it can't hit them. Yeah, right.
Okay.
But it can use it. If it's, I guess, another flying type, something that's levitating.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
it's-
Okay. I was gonna say you have very good hazards. This could be a problem.
Yeah, I dropped my. Like, I dropped two defoggers.
It's just Volcanion.
I kind of fucked up.
I'm gonna be real. Volcanion really doesn't want to have that in his moveset.
Yeah, I kind
That's
of fucked up.
crazy.
I kind of fucked up. There's a lot of changes are coming.
Okay. I was like, I didn't know what to expect going into this. I was like, oh, that's
Yeah,
very
that thing
empty.
doesn't have anything.
Bombardier and like I don't think Mewtwo is really going to be running knockoff, but like Bombardier and Hisuian Gudra, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think as far as your pivot options go as well, and like just because they are something I usually gravitate towards, I think they're not the best. I think Parting Shot is...
I'm still looking for a good
Okay.
like, electric type for Volt. But like I like the U-turn on Bomb and Weaponade.
I was about to say, what if I could tell you about a electric type with Parting Shot and Rapid Spin, and then I realized they're taken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody loves taking good things.
I really like Bombardier actually as a Z captain. I think it's really good. I think Terra Quagsire. I know you picked that up exactly for that. For what's it called? Primal Kyogre, didn't you?
That and like Zacian.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
I just think it's generally a good like niche pick into Ubers.
No, I think Terra
Some
Quagsire
Ubers.
was a very good pickup. I like him a lot. He's a friend. Yeah, this team does definitely feel like it needs more on the physical side.
I'll probably drop. If I were to drop anything off this team, it would probably be Bronzong. Unfortunately, probably get a different poison type.
I think Bronzong is the mon on the team. Yeah, as Sarah says, not sure if Zong does. I was about to say Zong feels like the mon on the team that job is being done by quite a few other things. You have other hazard setters, you have another steel type, you have another physical bulky mon. I think it feels a little bit confused. And I think so Bronzong's what, 12 points? I can I would say
pick up like
How does this team feel about a Palmont? Pick up a Palmont, Evan.
I'm not picking up Palmont.
Pick up a Palmont, Evan.
I don't want Palmont.
I mean, it could look to something like Flagon. That's not terrible.
I do love Flygon. Flygon's my friend. That's Google.
Wait. Why is it showing that Swampert is allowed?
That's
Wait a
mine.
second. Yeah. Did I misspell it on your sheet? No.
Because there's a space at the end.
That?
Oh, it worked now.
Oh, now it works, yeah. I was gonna say, like, looking at, like, if you were to replace Bronzong with another 12-pointer, Flygon is more of an rival. Yeah, I was gonna say Flygon is another option for a removal. Cloyster is a fake removal option. A guy...
Yeah, that thing is not using Rapid Spin.
Yeah, a guy...
Had it last season.
Sadly, another guy who, like, I think is fake removal is Florges. I think Florges is a really good Pokemon in general, but I think it's just... It kind of, like, struggles to fit Defog into its moveset. Oh, Starmie is 1.2 too many. Does get Cynthia? I think it's got. I think Midas Force has a lot of moves it wants to run. So it's like what?
The thing about Flygon though is that it kind of like makes me really fairy in Ice Week now.
It does increase it, yeah.
Dropping a steal.
The only other thing that looks like a real physical attacker in the 12-point range, honestly, is for Alligator at this point. That's the real issue there.
And then for Alligator is a third water.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I don't know, Heracross, Breloom? I don't know.
Heracross is a bit fake, I'd say. That thing is so frail.
Heracross is definitely fake in an Ubis format, I feel.
Yeah, it's like it has like 2 4x weaknesses.
Breloom could be workable.
Breloom is kind of funny, but like it's kind of.
I will say, I do think as far as physical attackers go, Megalop will fill that role as needed very reliably. I think maybe even a bit more urgent would be finding that other hazard remover.
Yeah.
Like, and that's one thing that's like I really like the like top half, like this set, and I like some of the lower parts as well. I think no, I don't want to do that. I feel like there's just like a big question mark here on the team that needs to be filled because Bronzong is making this look like that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, Bronzong's definitely getting dropped, I will say. But otherwise, I think it's I'll have some fun with it.
Yeah, I like the thing is like I feel like this top half will serve you very well, which is why it makes me feel a bit more. It's definitely I feel above C. I think above Aurora's team for now.
I guess,
yeah. It's like I do still really. Oh, that's Austin's team, not Aurora's. I do still like. Obviously, there's two on here, 2 Ubers on here, but then, like, I think this team has very clear to play for win cons. Lele is really good at abusing its own terrain as well. You have Mewtwo who can really abuse it. I think it's around the same, so maybe we'll put like next to it just tied for now.
FM.
I think you really do like even this is looking dire, my friend.
Fix it.
I'm literally looking live right now for a replacement.
So I guess
Hitmontop.
No.
Hey, don't be disrespecting Hitmontop.
I love Hitmontop, but I'm not drafting that.
It won Worlds.
Hitmonlee.
Okay, we're talking about real No, MLA's removable.
Hey, hey.
All right,
Moving on to Goats' team. Stealing bastard. Took my dog. We have Zamazenta, Chiyu, Reggie Lucky, Ogrepon Cornerstone, Tapu Fini, Superior, Grafii, Decidueye, Orthworm, and Claydol. Alright, I won't put this in speed order now so it doesn't hurt my eyes to look at and feel wrong. I think... So Ghost has already said that Sir... I didn't even think about the glare blocking. Thank you for that, Hatter. I didn't even think about like glare blocking with Superior Tapu Fini. Goats has already said that this team is going to change. First thing that I want changed is 3 grass types.
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Funny enough.
That's
Hilarious though.
The,
Definitely drop the Decidueye of any of those 3. I don't know.
I'm
honestly,
also...
I'd drop Superior more than anything else here.
I'm kind of in disbelief.
Contrary Superior is just funny.
I'm kind of in disbelief that this team doesn't have a flying type.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but
too.
Claydol
It does have
levitates.
Levitate at least in Claydol.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I didn't even. Yeah. And hey, and Earth Eater.
Claydol levitates.
But like,
rocks.
speaking of the worm, that brings my big problem with this. There's a lot of fire weak things, and the mons that would resist fire don't. There's Fini, but like Chiyu's not a fire resist.
Yeah. That's definitely. It does feel. And I feel like that's a bit associated by the fact.
See, the problem is, Superior would look really good on this team, except for the fact that Goats did not give it Terra Captain status.
Yeah. There's 2 Pokemon on this team that I feel like.
That is not Terra Superior. That is normal Superior.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's 2 Pokemon on this team that he could have given Terra and should have given Terra to, that he didn't, and they're both grass types.
Yeah, honestly, I don't mind no Terra on Ogrepon because that's like, it's one of the worst aspect ones because it's your defense raising. You also lose. You become weak to ground again, and you lose sturdy. So I don't know if Cornerstone is. I just stopped looking at all of the Ogrepons because none of them passed Cornerstone Terra.
No, base cap.
Other than, yeah, I know. I saw base. I was looking at base. I thought base was looked really good, but not for my team.
Yeah, I think.
But here, I just feel like Cornerstone was kind of a bait that I'm glad Goats didn't really take here.
But I
think Superior should be
It
Terra.
wasn't even pointed out to me how like I didn't even think about Tapu Fini blocking glare.
Yeah.
That's actually a massive. That actually like kills Serp as well.
Just a tad.
Mm-hmm.
Just a tad.
Sounds like they gotta drop Superior.
Well, I think if they care about like if Terra is superior, I think they just drop Fini for a different water type.
You see,
And
because I
then you
think
have to
Fini
be
is really good. Yeah.
I think if you drop Fini for a Terra superior and then find a good fairy and water type.
But like, I don't think this team.
I don't know. I
would
feel
even
like the team
need
needs
Terra
more
Superior.
adjusting if you lose both a water and fairy compared to just losing one of the grasses.
Yeah.
Well, you
I agree.
still
Like, I
need to
think-
lose Decidueye here. I don't think you need Serpent Decidueye.
I would.
Mm-hmm.
I would.
You don't
personally-
need both of them, definitely.
I'd personally rather keep Decidueye just for the ghost type, especially when you already have 2 grass types. So Serp is 13 points. What is this team missing that we think
It's
we
14.
could... It's 14. Thank you.
It
I
is
can't.
14.
I can't. I don't even know my own.
How are we feeling about a Thunderous T?
I don't feel like you really need it with Reggie.
Oh wait, you have it. Never mind.
I would like it.
Never
I
mind.
would like Gyarados. Gives you a flying type.
Yeah, Gyarados is also just awesome. I think so. I think like Hazards, this team is in an all like Hazard setting. It's in an all right position. I don't think the spikes on Ogre. I've never seen an Ogrepon run spikes. I'll be honest, but like, it's
Yeah.
definitely an option. Or I think you have.
Oh,
some...
I would like Moltres Galar here purely because team doesn't have a dark type.
Does not have a dark type.
That's Chi, no?
Doesn't? Yeah, it's Gio.
Yeah, gee.
I keep forgetting that thing's a dark type.
So
I think Gyarados is an insane shout. Won't lie.
I think. How would it look like if you just did that one change? Oh wow. I was gonna say like I think this team like physically it's got really good options as well. I mean Zamazenta and Ogerpon are probably gonna be main two. You can run Swords Dance, Grafai sets. I would like I think there if you had like another more like primary setter for Hazards, I think that could be really good. I think yeah, Grafai is a really good Z captain I think as well with like Prankster sets, and because people might be expecting that Prankster parting shot Z combo, if you did want to run like offensive unburden sets with it, it then is like able to like get the drop on an opponent and be like, oh actually I'm running this time. I think one thing we haven't discussed about like though, your main special attackers are Regieleki and well Chiyu and Fini. Fini can run Calm Mind sets as well, which I think are I've seen do work.
I will say we have to be a little skeptical here because I know for a fact Goats is a firm believer in banded Aleki, in physical Aleki.
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it.
I'm sorry, what?
Goats is one of the biggest advocates for physical Aleki.
So the thing about Regieleki getting Terra is that it kind of it opens up the option for, like it opens up your moveset for special, but it also can Terra Blast works physically.
It does. Also, hey, you can never truly expect the 200 base speed Terra Normala explosion coming at your face. So
True.
Fini is Z captain and run with Swallow. So like
that'd be interesting, actually.
so that'd be like replace Grafai with Swallow. No. Oh my god, I forgot about the Superior, yeah.
Oh wait, because we took it off. Yeah, it was taken off.
Oh, and then you can run then you can run Terra Swallow as well.
Where's Swallow at?
Swallow is 11.
So it comes at 16.
Hell, even if you did that, you still have it. You could grab another Z captain if you wanted to. You could keep Z Grafai.
Zegrafii is like worth it just for like the prankster Z parting shot.
Yeah.
As well as no, but yeah, I think I get what you mean though, Hatter. Where it's like you have enough points. Goat has a lot of points just by because he already has what 2 left over, I think. Yeah. So Serp is really. So if he drops Serp, he has 16 points sitting in the bank that he can use. Oh, I shrunk the tab. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Finny's too much of a good pick to drop over
So
keeping Superior.
So
you
with
kinda just
16
always drop
points,
that.
let's look. He could grab Flygon as another setter. He could grab. I've forgotten what gets rocks. Uxie.
You think if you'd have 3 grass types, you'd pick up Tapu Bulu.
Double terrain?
Totally.
Don't be
Totally.
silly.
Grassy terrain strats.
You should pick up
What
grassy terrain.
What
instead.
about
Just go full
Rillaboom?
grass mono.
Rillaboom costs more, so.
Also,
Oh wait, no,
it's
Rillaboom
Rillaboom
taken,
costs
right?
16. It's taken, yeah.
Damn.
That too.
Tapu Bulu.
You could grab Seismitoad.
You got Flaky.
You could grab Blissey if you wanted rocks.
Wacky is up for like 2 points. That's true.
Yeah. I don't think he needs.
Someone should just get all of the real estate on grassy terrain. Pick all 3 of them up.
I mean, Blissey also gives you
Yeah, I think Chansey Blissey would be is actually a good shout.
It gives you a wish passer as well. A setter.
If I see a Blissey pass a wish to Tapu Fini, I want to cry.
I don't know. I think Blissey is just like inherently weak in draft though.
It depends.
I mean, and maybe in Ubers it'll be good because you'll have
No,
that insane special bulk to hit with to like contend with the insane special like power of some of the Ubers. But like I still think that Chansey and Blissey are like abusable in the same amount of ways.
I've seen Blissey's do work. You have to be careful. Is the biggest thing with Blissey. Like, I mean, like if you're letting it, if you're not being careful with it, and that's like the big thing you have to be careful like as well is like you have to be careful, but you can't be too careful because then your opponents can take advantage of you being careful. But I think they can really good, especially with the Ubers going around. It can be a very good just like check in where it's like, hey, I'm gonna just sit here for a minute and.
I actually just got a brain blast. Hold on.
Love to hear
Yes,
that.
it's up. It's 2 points.
What's up, Evan?
What is it?
It's Arbok.
Oh yeah.
It's Arbok over assuming Quillfish.
So where do we think Goats is for now? I think top 4 or 5 make a low B worthy. I agree. I like the thing is like we are very much the lack of a primary hazard setter and Superior completely not working with team. Those are the 2 biggest issues. I think like those are the 2 that really stick out to me. And at the end of the day, that means a majority of the team is working well together. And I do agree. I think this team does have some really good synergies that work together. I want to say low B, so I'm going to put it right below Evan for now. No, the Superior feels like a point sink. It's a waste of points and a lot of points that you could get something really good. Like you could grab a 13-pointer and make one of your cheaper guys a Terra Captain for the points that you are sinking in Superior. So moving on from, unless anyone has some last thoughts about Goats' team.
Nar.
No.
All right then.
Show me GuyGojo.
Next we have GuyGojo's team, which is Kyurem White, Terra Cerule Edge, Zamazenta Crown, Greninja, Galarian Slowking, Terra Rhyperior, Togekiss, Rotombo, Tauros, and Cutiefly. Ooh, Cutiefly.
Honestly, I think Mad Hatter sums it up perfectly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Galarian Slowking, Kyurem White. It's going to be a blizzard, people.
Yeah, there is going to be snow up again on this team very often.
I think
Unless you taunt it.
oh no, it's own tempo, right? The regular gets oblivious.
Yeah, I do think I do think I do think normal Suluking would be better here on this team, just because if you already have so many things weak to ground.
You do have some
And
very good ground switch-ins, though.
you do.
I think
It's just like the one you make one wrong prediction, and you switch something into an earthquake, and that doesn't want to eat it, and it's gonna hurt.
especially though because two of those ground weak Pokemon, they will Terra out of it.
That is true. I
Or
don't
can
know.
Terra out
I
of
mean,
it.
I'm not a believer in Rhyperior, but I think Cerulege will be terraing a lot more often than this Rhyperior will.
Oh, definitely. I feel like not Superior. Cerulege is the main Terra guy, and then Rhyperior is feels more like a secondary cap, and I think that is fine. I think there's a few. Obviously, it's going to probably lean towards those defensive types a bit more, but when it's not a dog shit defensive typing, it's going to be a very good bulky attacker.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cerulege is definitely the main Terra guy on this team, and I think this team's also it's only capping at 128, but it has a lot of faster guys. Wait, is Rhyperior the only rocker?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that. Yeah, okay, that is a lot less.
You do at least have a spiker in Greninja, at least,
but it is
on the side.
That's fake though.
It's not fake.
I have never. I've been running spikes on my Greninja in GTL. I have not gotten a single spike layer down all season. That thing is not setting your spikes.
I think it can, but not alone. I also don't like the lack of. I also really don't like the lack of a there doesn't feel like there's a dedicated hazard remover to me on this team. Like Rotom-Mow and Togekiss both can legitimately run defog very well, but I don't like either of them really as like your main option for it. I also defog I find is both, but never feels like it's like I'm bringing this guy for hazard removal, and it's one of those two. This definitely wants more removal when Kyurem White, who's definitely the main the main guy on this team, it feels like.
Lord.
And I think another thing is that as well is like we have that chili combo, and I think that chili combo is phenomenal. You don't have a lot of pivoting around that. It's chili, and then you have Volt Switch U-turn with Greninja and Rotom-Mow. And this I really don't like.
Trick, switch.
No knockoffs.
Awesome.
Feels. So to be fair, I don't think compared to normal you need as many knockoffs, just because with Z crystals, Mega Stones, and signature items, you don't need like 50 of them. But 0 knockoffs feels bad. Also, I don't like that your only flying resistance is your Terra Rhyperior. Like, that feels... Mega Salamence wants to know your location. I mean, yeah, flying and fighting / ground combo attacks are going to be very good into this team. Nothing is going to really want to take those hits. I think this team really wants oh, it has because it has an electric type and it has a steel type. It has an electric type, but neither of them resist flying because they're both also the secondary types are weak to it. I feel like this team. It doesn't feel bad though. That's the thing. Is like it feels like there's a lot of very good parts of it to me. It's just it feels like like when I look at this page, I'm looking like this looks really good, and then I go to here and I start to have some concerns.
I think a lot of it works. It's just it needs like I wouldn't even say it's like one specific problem. It's just like a lot of things are kind of making like the cohesion not it's like there's no glue in the team. But I think all these parts like together, like all these parts individually are gonna do work.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that it's like not a it's a team and it's like I think the rock weakness is really gonna hurt it.
Oh my god!
Having four mons that are weak to rock.
4 mons weak to rock, and
no hazard removing like, or there is, but it's like
I wish there was
there's some things that are going to get
But it's like I don't know who you would replace on this team to get like your spinner or another rocker.
Yeah, I think this team is going to do really well into some teams and get absolutely like run down.
Tauros is
What
5 points. What could you? Is there a spinner / rocker or both you could get for 5 points instead? I think they should give Electrode Rapid Spin.
Does Hitmonchan get Rapid Spin?
Yes.
It's still bizarre that it doesn't.
Yeah, you could grab Hitmonchan, I guess, but that Mon and I have beef, so you can grab Girder for another defog, but no, that's also not real. Smeargle could be fine. Actually, I don't hate Smeargle on this team. Like if I do.
Picking Smeargle back up.
You're not, man. You can't drop Smeargle. You can't drop Smeargle then pick Smeargle up again. That's not how that works.
You could.
I could. I have points.
Altaria would be another option for a defogger as well. Like I think this team has the time and it definitely has the parts it can work around. And so I feel like it's definitely in this B tier area. High B. I think it's above Aurora. I think top of B. I'm also gonna say I feel like the more thinking on it, I want to switch these two.
Whoa. Holy.
And yeah, so I guess if anyone else, my biggest takeaway from this team is like there's a lot of very good parts that will work very well for it. And I can guarantee that. I would bet money on it, on this team doing well. But there's parts that when I look at it that look like big flaws that could be abused. That is my takeaway from it.
It just looks good on the surface. And then you start picking around.
Alright, so moving.
What have you been picking around?
My nose.
For real, digging for gold.
Yeah.
Alright, so moving on, we have Hatter's team. Ah shit, I gotta update another team. Fuck me.
Pioneering and shit.
Okay, so what do we drop? These guys.
God.
Wait.
What's the only removal on Guy's team?
He has.
Or was it more rockers?
He has. Yeah, he only has Rhyperior. He has. What's it called? He has. Rotom Mo, and he has.
Togekiss and
Togekiss and Cutie Fly.
Yeah.
Alright, so we have Hatter's team, which is Shaman Skye, Scolipede, Mega Metagross, Comfey, Zekrom, Passimian, Blastoise, Klefki, Hatram, Tinglu, and Shedinja with Z Scolipede and Terra Comfey. Hatter, I know you're muted, but if you want to like give us your thoughts on why you've drafted who you've got. Core is essentially overwhelming short check, so that core to me is like Metagross, Zekrom, Terra Comfey, and Tinglu and Shaman Skye. Also Z Sculpey. Yeah, I always forget it. Yeah, thank you.
Let's go, Evan. We're saving the day, you and I.
What?
Multiple backbones that are generally good in Uber's context. Set hazards, reliably set screens, spread status. It is ultimately to open up Shaman, Scorpion, Zekrom for an endgame, though. Okay. Look at move. Oh yeah, you've got a lot of hazard options. I think Blastoise is an Blastoise. I feel like is definitely the like main hazard move on the team, but I think Klefki and Comfey could definitely run at times as well. I don't think Zekrom will be running Defog, though. Probably not often. It just depends on circumstances. Yeah.
The best option for us, for a spinner at this point is Starmie, but that's another Psychic and another Wire.
So I think this team has very good win cons to play through. Some very, very, very heavy hitters. I think Zekrom, Metagross are probably your main physical ones, but even then, like, you're happy to just slap a Scarf up a Simian all the time. You also Swords Dance Scolipede. Scolipede also just, I know, because it has a massive fucking coverage move pool, so definitely the Z is definitely very good for it. Yeah, I've seen speed boost never before. I think you got 100% accurate bug type move, which is very nice. Oh yeah, Shedinja is very good Uber. I was very happy to see a Shedinja picked up because I was wondering if anyone would. I was debating it actually for a long while, very early in my drafts. Like, do I draft the Shedinja with just like come in, baton pass out as they switch out?
Yeah, let's go, Ben.
Something I very much considered. I think on the special side, you've got some very good options as well. Shaman Skye's got a very, very good, very high special attack. Unitary Comfey as well is such a good mon. Comfey can absolutely put in work a lot of the time. Comfey can definitely be endgame. Especially with like a Calm Mind or two, it can be very hard for teams to just get through that triage. Draining Kisses. I think you've got some very good. You've got Metagross and Passimian for knockoff. My biggest concern is a lot of the pivot potential does come from Baton Pass. Grounds. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm being called away.
Bye, Evan.
I think fire types might be a bit of a problem as well. Just a lot of that's a very big shared weakness on this team. Tinglu, Shaman, and Blastoise definitely feels like very good. Yeah, I think Zekrom, Lu, and it does get worse. Yeah. DD and Roost in general is very strong combo. I think Tinglu is a very good pickup for this team because it does just give you a very good defensive backbone. Yeah, like, I think this team definitely has a lot of ways to like guarantee being able to get in good positions very well.
Oh right, I forgot they had a Mega Metagross.
Yeah. I think Mega Metagross is a very good Pokemon.
Yeah. Just a tad.
Just a little bit. Yeah, no, I think Metagross is very much buffed by NetDex and the moves it gets. I think. Yeah, no, it's definitely probably one of the it's one of the best Mega Pokemon for a reason. It's an Ubers for a reason. I think there's a lot of very good win cons on this team, a lot of very good defensive tools. I think the fact that you have 3 Spikers and 3 Rockers is very good, plus a T-Spike setter. My biggest concern is also you do have a bit of a ghost weakness, but like 2 of those are Shedinja and Hatchrim, but your only resist is that Tinglu. I would maybe like to see a normal type. Like I think that could help a little bit, but I don't know. And bulk pivots are there to leverage most ghosts. Yeah, there's some it's a very fat team. It feels like. So you got Blastoise, Klefki with dual screens, Tinglu. Zekrom is pretty beefy itself. And then Metagross is also incredibly beefy. So I think this team has some very good bulk behind it. Where are we thinking for tiers?
Honestly, I feel like this could go easily in A.
I was thinking A too.
Yeah.
Maybe our first A tier. Finally.
The A tier has arrived.
No, I think, to me, it feels like there is some very outstanding weaknesses that could be a problem, but I think there is a lot of very good win cons and some very good bulk on it.
Yeah, Hatter said also sniped a lot.
Yeah.
I think it might be the most. I don't know if it's the most, but like one of the most sniped people in the draft here.
I've seen people do very well with snipe drafts before. Yeah, I love that dog, but I think I've gotten I think the mon that I got just for what I needed is very much an upgrade for the team. So, unless anyone else has anything to add, we can move on to the next team.
I think it's good.
Yeah. All right, moving on. We have my team.
Oh yeah, this team is horrible. There's like no redeeming qualities
Thank
whatsoever.
You. So, not my base. That's meant to be my draft order.
I kid. Go ahead and do your synopsis.
Yeah, so we've got Lunala, Terra Dragonite, Lando T, Terapagos, Jirachi, Weavile, Sylveon, Hisuian Electrode, and Kricketune. Okay. I think so. I want to start with the main guy that I really, really, really wanted to build around was Terra Dragonite. It's just it looked really fun to me on paper. I thought it'd be a lot of fun to use. I think Terra Dragonite is one of the best. I think Dragonite is one of it's probably a top 3 in my opinion. Terra captains to pick up, which is a reason it costs 23 points. Lunala to me felt like a really good, solid, bulky option for an Uber. It's also just felt very varied because it has obviously amazing bulk. It's got a very good defensive ability. It's got an interesting defensive typing with Psychic Dark, or not Psychic Dark, Psychic Ghost, which obviously two very notable 4x weaknesses, but also immunity to fighting, resisting poison and psychic, and also just I think can be a very good, very varied Pokemon. Fun fact: Wolfie just put out a video about why it's so good. But it's very varied because like obviously like more defensive sets with it, but also it gets access to agility and then power or meteor beam. So I think it can get very well with like in 2 turns a special shift gear, and I think it has with its ability a lot of options to set that up. Originally this was actually Ting Lu in that 3rd spot, but I picked up Lando T because I thought it would give me a lot more. It gave me a secondary knockoff. It gave me another U-turn. Intimidate is a lovely ability. It also gets Defog. It gets a lot of lovely tools, and I really, really like that for it. Probably going to be my main hazard remover for the team is Terapagos. That's my second Uber. But just very good bulk, very good special option as well. I think between Dragonite on the physical side and Lando T as well, and then Lunala and Terapagos, I think I've got some very good options. I had a little hope for my friend Devin, or shout out to Devin Smeargle. He suggested Jirachi for a steal. I wasn't even considering it. His big thought was that it gave me a good pivoting tool as well compared to other steel types that I was looking at. It's got a very good speed tier, obviously very good, very good stats. Around 100 each stat is always lovely. Returning from from GTL right now, we've also got Weavile. This was supposed to be Meowscarada, and then that got stolen.
I didn't do shit.
It's almost like almost like you're never gonna be allowed to draft.
I'm literally never
Meowscarada
going to be able to. Any draft I want to get Meowscarada in, someone else fucking nabs it right before I do. Like the round before. But I think Weavile is a very good placement. Sadly, Weavile doesn't get U-turn, but I think Weavile does have some very nice tools as well. Ice Dark has very good coverage. Low Kick is great, especially into a lot of those bulkier Ubers. Gives me another knockoff in addition to Lando T. Sylveon is just our staple. This is the 3rd season that Sylveon has been legal in JDL. This is the 3rd season that I've picked up Sylveon. It's kind of my go-to guy. I love it. It kind of does just everything you really want, in my opinion, from a fairy. It's got very good special attack. It's got a decent coverage move pool. It's got very good defensive tools such as Wish Passing, Toxic, and I believe it gets Yawn, and also Heal Bell, which I think is a very underrated part for a lot of the teams. I like Quillfish a lot. Even base Quillfish compared to Suian has some nice tools. Obviously, it's got dual spikes, Intimidate, just like the other one. It can't run Eviolate, but it does get access to stuff like Whirlpool, which can be a little bit gimmicky, but also I think very good for trapping where bulkier monster can't really threaten it, and spreading status. It gets also Flip Turn, which I think is really good. I really like Hisuian Electrode as far as it goes for speed control. Really fast Pokemon. I think it's got another really good utility move pool. And Kricketoon's a filler guy. He's got webs. So, if anyone has any questions or wants to also review it, please go ahead. Here's what our pivots, move pool, and all that looks like.
My only I mean it seems pretty good. My only hope is that you just don't. I just hope you don't autopilot Scarf Jirachi every week and just win off of that.
I am not.
Scarf Jirachi too many times with Scarf, and I blame shooting goats.
So as a longtime Jirachi, hating to fight it, I think I've always been a fan of the T-Wave, or hated the T-Wave Ironhead set.
Like with Jirachi, you don't even need the T-Wave on the Jirachi. You just have something with T-Wave. You run Scarf Jirachi.
I don't think I have a lot of Thunderwave options. Oh, I take that back.
You have a lot of Thunder Wave options.
And I mean, you can also just run Body Slam.
I'm just gonna read. I don't trust Body Slam. I don't trust my luck with that move. I'm just gonna read through how to said team seems solid. Mono Spike and Quillfish is a little. I agree. I think definitely having Quillfish as the only spiker does hurt a little bit. I couldn't find room for it. Definitely more spike. I would like another spiker for sure. That would be ideal. But that would. You know who would have been another spiker? Meowscarada.
I don't know what you're talking about. That thing doesn't get spikes.
Yeah. I like having three. It feels like three rockers who can reliably run rocks. Cricketune is obviously a fillermon, but being able to bring a fillermon with reds or webs feels very nice. I think speed. I'm not the biggest enjoyer of my speed tiers. I wish I had some more mons in the middle. But for the longest time, I couldn't even hit 120, so I am very happy with this. I also am aware of the rock weakness.
It's not that big of a rock weakness, because, I mean, actually, the only one that can tear out of it is your Dragonite.
Well,
okay.
One of them is Cricketune, though.
Hey, if you just really want webs up on a team 1 week, you're gonna have to worry about rocks.
I do think it's saddening that you couldn't get a second Terra or even a Z.
Yeah, no, that is definitely that was definitely a big thing I was really hoping for. However,
I mean, like, what on this team would really want?
I was considering another Terra for the. I mean, obviously, as you guys saw, I drafted Terra Avalugg at first. And that was one of the big things is, like, Terra Dragonite... Like, Terra is always going to be Dragonite. There's no way it's not. Especially because Dragonite can run most types. I think I'd rather have overall good Pokemon than two Terra Captains and the team being Coughing Baby. Yeah, because, like, my thought was, like, I was going for a walk a couple days ago, and I kind of had the realization, like, what types can Dragonite run? Obviously... It doesn't mind running either Stab for Terra, Terra Normal, and Terra Ground offensively. I think Terra's, like... Yeah, I was looking at that. So the big thing I would have done is I would have swapped Sylveon for Florges and then Terra Electrode. That would have been the change. However, yeah, I think that would be a good change. However, I am partially... It's going to sound stupid. Sylveon's the mascot of the team. So I really didn't want to get rid of Sylveon if I could.
What's the name going to be this season?
Oh, probably Trans Forwards. We had Trans Rights in Season 1, Trans Lefts in Season 2, so now we go Trans Forwards. Yeah. I'm so sad no one picked up Roaring Moon, so Sylveon can one-shot it with Quick Attack.
Terra Roaring Moon.
Nope, not allowed.
That's disgusting.
I'll forfeit a week one day.
Yeah, but yeah, I think I'm very happy with how this team turned out. I think I was really struggling for a while once the Zamazentas both got taken to figure out what I wanted to get.
And then you realized you didn't need a second Uber.
Yeah, I mean. I think the thing is, without getting the second Uber, that landed up with us getting Lando T, Terapagos, and Jirachi instead of more, like, mid-tier Pokemon of those types. And I think I would rather have those three than, like Mega Blaziken was the Uber I was going to look at. But it's like okay, we get Mega Blaziken. What fills in the rest of the team then? And I don't.
Your team was actually in the most spot to pick up the Mega Blaziken because your Lunala cost 26.
Yeah. You know, I was saying like Mega Blaze is pretty too limited. I think it's like one of those cases where it's like it does. Nah, you can't run focus. No focus energy because you can't run scope length. So you can't run full crit. But I'm very happy with how this team turned out. I was very shocked when Lando team made it through draft. Anyone else have anything on that, or we can figure out where we want to put it? I'm gonna let you guys completely decide where to put it because I don't trust my bias.
I think we put it. Let's make a new tier called Org Rigged.
If I had rigged Org, I would have been first in the draft.
The rig was that you made me last when I wanted the Yveltal.
Oh, actually, that's not me. You have to blame for that.
No.
You see-
Don't talk about how I had you respend 3 times.
Yeah, we re-rolled. So we did. I would say I'd like to see more. I'd say I think this team's probably more well-rounded than the other. The only thing is maybe to me there's no X factor. Yeah, I can agree with that. I feel like that's kind of the habit with a lot of my teams. Primal Kyogre and Surge Valiant is but I think my team has some good guys. Where do you guys want to rate it? Hot Hatter is saying low S, high A. I'm completely leaving it.
I would put it like high A as a safety bet here. Something about it just doesn't feel as S-able to me for some reason.
I completely can get behind that. So,
Bye, Hatter.
all right, bye, Hatter.
Okay. I do have a question as to how far I am down the list from where we are currently, because I've also got to head out.
Well, if you got to head out, we can do you. We can jump ahead to you then. Skye.
Okay. Yeah, I'm being crucified to go play a video game. So.
All right, so we're gonna jump ahead to Skye's team. Which Skye, if you would like to break this down real quick, I'll put it in draft order so you can go one by one. And while you do that, I'm going to pee and then grab another drink.
So originally I wanted to do Yveltal and then followed by a nice little Zamazenta crown, but once the Yveltal felt in battle, I decided to be evil for my round 1. So I was like, yeah, let's grab one of the best dragon types in this roster, and then one of the best fairy steel types. So then Zygarde, yeah. So we have complete and Maggie. I said that wrong. Bagirna. And then I just one of my favorite parts about this draft is asking for other people's opinions. So I hired Lexical to help me out. I couldn't find it because I was struggling at the time. Because when you're there's 20 people in the draft pool. So when there's 30 something picks between each of mine. It becomes a little difficult to find the Pokemon that would fit the team that would still make it to me. And somehow Pecharunt lived 3 rounds, so I took it. One thing I am kind of looking at is Pyukumuku is my GOAT, but I kind of want to look to drop it to fit in all 3 of the Gen 9 starters by picking up Dirge.
Well, one problem with that.
Gone? Is it already gone?
Maybe.
Yeah, Dirge is gone.
Oh, is it?
Maybe by someone in here.
I wasn't paying attention to the pickups today.
It's not me this time.
It wasn't picked up today. It was picked up last week during draft.
I did not see it drafted.
What
Oh,
Pokemon?
well.
Skeledirge.
I can probably bribe
Oh,
them.
yo, I got Skeledirge.
I'll give you a talent point for it.
Skeletor?
I'll give you a nice little talent flame for it. Pre-nerf.
Talonflame for Terra Skeledirge.
I don't want a Terra. I don't. Actually,
I
it
don't
would
think
be a Terra captain.
I don't think I want to.
Yeah. I mean, Petrarun, it's a Z captain for a reason. I think we all know what button it's gonna be pressing when it needs
Parting
to.
shot.
Yeah. I mean, like, there's no other status move you're gonna be pressing with that cool little Z button attached to it on Petrarun. Because I don't think it really. I've never used it before, so this should be funny. I do wish I had more. I don't know. Actually, looking at the type matchups, I don't really know what my team. I do have a lot of Ghost Week.
You got 3, yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like Meowscarada is.
Meowscarada will keep the
it's not
ghosts
gonna be a
away,
great-
but I feel like it won't. Like you can't. It's not gonna switch in and take a shadow
very
ball.
well. But I do have that Miltank there. I don't know how often Miltank's gonna actually exist, but
Hey, don't be disrespecting.
Listen, listen, as a Miltank user,
no.
I think Miltank is gonna go hard whenever
I am
you
a
need it.
huge Miltank believer.
Skye, you're not the only person in this channel that was going to pick up Miltank.
Because like
This is true.
there is no reason for that funny little cow to be a 100 tier speed.
Yeah, no, it's insane.
It is a bulky mess.
It
with
has 3 amazing abilities.
Yeah, there is no bad ability on that Pokemon.
Have you gone through all of them yet? Or
I skipped around because I said
Okay.
I was like, I talked about how I wanted the Yveltal, and then I switched to being evil after it was picked up. I was like, I picked up one of the best dragon types in this roster.
Yeah.
Followed by the best steel fairy type that can be drafted because Zacian Crown exists. But
we'll legalize that.
No!
If we can legalize it in T minus 30 seconds, let me get my draft message.
Legalize nuclear bombs.
Yeah. But like, I think this team does what it needs to do. I mean, like, if Talonflame can stay healthy, that's priority. Defog, it's just priority. On a typing that likes to have priority into some of these other teams that we've seen.
Okay. Yeah, I think.
I think Azelf is going to be a big sleeper here. I think people are going to forget about that thing, and then it's going to hurt them. But we'll see. I like my speed tiers a lot in this team.
Yeah, so if we switch over to the speed tiers, one thing I don't like about, like, I think they're very solid, except I don't like this block is all, like, the 91 to 85 fix 4 bonds.
Yeah, the Zygarde complete is always gonna. I mean, that one's always gonna. I mean, but like in Zygarde's case, I do have the option of running 10% before it goes power construct. So then, like for that, in that case, that it would be higher. It'd be like what? It's like 115, I think. Its speed tier is. But I've been told before that like if I was gonna. The problem with running 10% with a power construct is that it kind of needs to be sashed because it won't live a lot of things otherwise.
Yeah.
But then you're a Zygarde complete without an item, which I think it loves to have.
I mean, you're also kind of like dependent on rest, then, aren't you?
Yeah, mostly. However, though, because of like I don't know what the HP difference between C and 10 is, but I imagine it still gets like even if you.
It's a
stack,
lot.
You go from
It's
1
a
HP
lot.
Like you go from 1 HP at
From
whatever,
54 to
it's
216, it quadruples.
Yeah, so you're gaining.
You got 4 HP then.
You're gaining hundreds. Yeah, you're gaining hundreds of HP from 1. So, but then yeah, you're just without an item, and that's not what you want on most of the time. You want to get Zygarde complete if it's going to use a consumable item and it wants to get value out of it, not just live a hit from
something like a Lumberry or something. Or,
like Lumberry, you have your weakness policies, your like Pecha Berry, like Yachi Berry, but even then, that's just another thing you can't really super use.
Like I have a feeling you'll probably end up wanting to run 50% more.
Yeah.
Just because.
I think I do like my removals in this team as well.
Yeah, so I think
the problem is I feel like
having 2 spikes is really good. I will say actually, I know in GTL, Lada's been running Quackable, and she's been having a lot of trouble fitting Rapid Spin on it.
Yeah, it is one of those Pokemon.
Talonflame is a superb defogger, and I think Rotom is a pretty damn good one as well.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. With if Talonflame can stay healthy and not get knocked off, if Talonflame can avoid getting its boots taken away, and staying healthy, that's priority defog for as long as it's full.
Yeah, and it's still a damn fast Pokemon, can roost up as well. I will say, I think this might be some of the best pivoting tools that we've seen on the team so far.
Oh yeah. My only wish here is that I wish Pukamiku had a real pivot move instead of just Memento.
You've got 7. You have 7 pivots. Yeah, that's definitely.
No, it gets passed. It gets passed. I'm sorry, I forgot about that.
Okay, so you have 8 pivots.
Yeah, Pukamiku gets baton pass, which is awesome, because that thing is I'll be honest, I will be using this Pokemon. It is not just a bench warmer.
I genuinely do believe. I think Pukamiku is actually a really good Pokemon because of Unaware. It has a niche.
It's I mean, I'll just say it and call it. That's Unaware with dual screens. Like
dual screens, toxic recover.
Yeah.
He's just a little guy.
But yeah, I think I've created a pretty good team here with the. I will say Lexical has helped, but
yeah, she did.
The main bulk of the team was mostly my ideas.
I think there's some really good stuff.
Because I needed a dark type. That was mostly it. Meowscarada was picked up because I needed a dark type and I needed speed.
Well, I think Meowscarada is really good here. I think this definitely feels like a team where like every Pokemon is going to do something.
Yeah, I don't see repeat teams shouldn't really happen with this team a bunch. There's no like, obviously you'll have your like the core like Zygote C and Magearna might show up every week, but there might be a one where they don't.
Yeah, I think like Terra Quaquaval is probably the like actually unironically I think Terra Quaquaval is the biggest like carry threat on this team.
I honestly kind of regret not being able to fit Terra Azelf in. I think Terra Azelf could be extremely good as well.
I think I agree, but I also don't feel like
I think
that's 2 Terra captains that do very similar roles. It feels where they're like big nukes. Like obviously one's physical, one's special. I kind of like having Pukamiku as like that secondary one more. Because Terra Azelf, to me, feels like it would have been a bit more of a waste of points, if I'm being honest, just because you're going to want to run Quaquaval most weeks.
Yeah. And I am a big fan. I do expect this Petra. It's kind of my only. I think the biggest weakness for this team is if I'm not bringing Pukamiku, Petra is kind of the main bulk of any team that's gonna exist, and that might be a problem.
I would disagree. Magearna, Zygarde, they can both run bulky.
I mean bulk for bulk, like it's existing to exist.
Okay, I see. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Like if Pukamiku's not there, Petron is gonna be the one that wants to take hits when it can.
I think the issue with that will be then as well. Petron obviously really good taking hits on the physical side, not as much on the special side.
Yeah, I don't have the only thing special. The only special I have is Pukamiku, and sometimes Magearna if it can.
Yeah. I think that's one thing this team might like, because that's one of the things like I think Miltank's actually really good on this team, or really good in general. I kind of would have liked something still that was a bit more like especially bulky, and it's obviously not.
Yeah.
That being said, I think this team has a lot of good parts. We looked at those pivots. We have good hazards. You've got some really good knockoffs and trickers, solid hazard removal.
That's a really good priority.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Lots of Paraspam, 2 Willows, always lovely to have. Because you got Aqua Jet, You've got extreme speed and sucker. Those are probably gonna be your main 3 you run, if I had to guess.
Yeah, because like the big thing here is that
I will
Talonflame
say
is a
one.
fast Willow, which is gonna help a lot against some of these teams.
Yeah, one thing that has me a little bit worried. Your only way to remove stat changes is Zygarde.
I'll deal with that when I need to. But yeah, I feel like I think the biggest team this weakness the biggest weakness this team has is there's not a lot that can be changed that wouldn't ruin a bunch of other things.
Okay, I get that. I think there's a lot of this is probably the fattest team we've seen so far, I feel. A lot of good just like bulky offense parts. A lot of I think this right here is like your 3 big like game winners, maybe Meowscarada and sometimes Azelf as well. But like I think a lot of your wins are going to come from this Terra Quackleval, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be really strong. I think Zygarde and Magearna are definitely going to give problems. Maggie, you have used Magearna and Ubers before. Any thoughts you have on what it can do?
I didn't like it.
Oh, that's not what I was expecting. Okay.
Oh.
I'll be real though. The Ubers team I had in that season wasn't very good anyway.
Okay.
So I don't think I had a very effective team for Magearna. So I'm not a good person to ask in this vein.
I will say, like, just going back a little bit to some of the weaknesses, I think the triple Ghost Week is a slight concern for the team because you have Miltank, but then if Miltank's not coming, it's Meowscarada, and
because that's what I was like referring to. Like if like this team needs more a better special wall, but like the only one I could really see getting dropped for that would be somewhere in the Miltank range, and then I lose my ghost immunity. So
it's like the Miltank to Rotom range, and that's like here.
Yeah, and so there's not a lot of.
It's like
I don't know I don't know stats off the top of my head, but like.
I would say like maybe if you drop, because like you could maybe drop like Rotom Miltank, and that's what 12 points in total.
Yeah, that'd be 12 for 2 guys because I'm at.
You could grab 11 point Snorlax and then a 1-pointer.
Like if anything, I could drop. I mainly picked up Azelf for its speed. I could easily just drop Azelf for one of the other Lake Guardians.
Yeah. I mean, that wouldn't really help with the ghost issue, but.
Yeah, I mean, it would help with the special, the bulk.
I think this team is really solid, though. I want to put this in A tier. I don't know what does everyone else think.
I can say that, yeah.
I'm cool with A.
All right, I think. Choke and death. Oh. I think it is a step below Hatter's team. I feel like I think there's some very clear win cons. You've got some good bulky guys. Or it's like, but it's like I feel like on the special side, it's going to like struggle a bit more.
Yeah. I really don't have a lot of. My only real like super real special attacker that would show up reliably is gonna be Magearna.
Yeah, it's Magearna or like Call My Pet sets.
Yeah.
Or even Azelf, but it's like Azelf is running. If you really want to run specs, and I feel like Azelf wants to run like Scarf or Sash most weeks over specs.
I think it depends on the team. If Azelf is like. If Azelf is faster than most things on a team, on an opposing team, we could easily just not have to go Scarf.
It'll depend from matchup to matchup, but I think overall this team's in a very solid spot right now. Maybe some changes you can make, but I think it'll be pretty good. Before we move on, does anyone else have anything else they want to add to Skye's team?
I got really scared when he drafted Zygarde and Magearna. That was really scary.
I'm gonna make it as scary as possible.
Bet.
All right. Before we move on to the next team, Parker, I just want to check. I know you said you're going to a movie tonight.
Oh, that was just me.
How much?
Yeah. It starts. Let me check. It starts at 9:25 my time.
Okay, so you
and
got
it's
an
like
hour.
20. Yeah, I should leave in 40 minutes.
Okay, yeah. So we'll go through a couple more teams. And I was gonna say like if you've got to go soon, we'll jump to you now. But since you don't, we'll maybe go through like a team or two, and then go to you. All right. So shall we move on to Killer's team? Killer's team
Yeah.
is Freaky Mane, Cyclizar, Ogrepon Hearthflame, Garchomp, Galarian Zapdos, Genesect, Overquill, Alolan Vulpix, Porygon 2, and Zekrodont, and Spheal. However, Spheal cannot enter battle. That is forbidden. Spheal
Fair
is
enough.
a permanent bench warmer. I've got some issues. This is the first time I've looked at this team, and I have some
So when
concerns.
Field comes, is that an auto DQ?
Yes. I'm serious. Yes.
You cannot bring the ball. The ball
Yeah,
is
he's too pure for
precious.
he's too pure for war.
Look, he's oblivious. He doesn't know the war is happening.
Yeah. So
Uh,
I have some concerns. I think there's some very good parts about this team. So how about we go through them first, and then I say my concerns.
I'll at least say right off the bat, I think Flutterman and Genesect are both just really strong contenders. Looking at right off the bat, like these are two very powerful special attackers that are going to need to be killed pretty fast most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, important thing about Genesect, you say special attacker. Genesect is a mixed attacker, baby. It can run physical or special. It gets a really good physical move pool as well.
I'm glad you brought that up because
Extreme
it then
Speed,
goes
Iron
into the
Head,
next.
X-Scissor.
It then goes into the next two in particular. Garchomp and Ogerpon get to be very flexible with what they do, given what they can be paired with here. Like this is probably one of the best teams I've seen drafted Garchomp in a long time because Garchomp can literally do anything on this team.
So I know the last team you saw draft Garchomp that was really good, right?
Yeah.
I think
I don't know. That means I'm talking you, Miss Organizer, and I don't want to do that right now. I'm kidding.
it was
I'm kidding.
Parker in season 2.
Oh, that wasn't the last one I saw. That was that team was awesome though.
But yeah, no, I think Galarian Zapdos Fluttermane really good. I think this team has some really good speed tiers as well. I mean, you have six Pokemon above 90. That's really, really good. I think Overquill
This team is extraordinarily fast.
Yeah, I think Overquill is a very good utility mon. Not as good as Quillfish Hisui, in my opinion, but like I think it has compared to Quillfish Hisui though, it has like the sweeper potential that Quillfish does not. I think Crawdon has really good potential as well. Obviously a really good adaptability mon. D-Dance, Water, knockoff Aqua Jet. It's gonna be a pain to deal with. I think Alolan Vulpix is
rocking
also...
the Z Crystal here.
Oh god, yeah. That would be
Yeah.
very good for it. Porygon Z, very bulky, can definitely be a problem for a lot of people.
That's 2, not Z.
Yeah, 2.
2. I can't read. And I think Alolan
2's the same general pencil movements.
Yeah. I think Alolan Vulpix is definitely also a bit more of a mascot pick for Killer here. I think he's just a very big fan of the mon. Gotta respect it. I think with how high up you have got with your other guys, I think having the 2 mascots is fine. So, should we talk about what we dislike on this team?
I'm very curious what you dislike.
I don't like that type chart at all. I think 4 Fairy Weak Pokemon is a problem, especially when your resists for Fairy type attacks are Ogerpon, Hearthflame, and Genesect. So 2 of them are the like baby guys, but that is 5 Pokemon weak to fighting. I forgot Cyclizar's on this team. Cyclizar is a really good mon as well. I love Cyclizar. Awesome Pokemon. Also, we have no flying resist. There isn't one. I don't like that. I also like so obviously like two of them are mascot picks as well, but then our only rock resist is Garchomp, which I don't know. I don't like that either. That no flying resist really feels like a problem to me though.
With everything that has such high attack stats, it feels like everything on this team wants to be the star, but it just won't work. That's the vibe I'm getting at least.
So I think
I think like I think the one mon here that like my instincts would say to probably switch out is probably the Zapdos Galar. I don't think it needs to be here at all.
Interesting. So I think one thing I'm noticing, your only hazard removal is Saklazar. I'm not too big on that, I'll be honest. Also, your only rocker is Garchomp, and so that to me really feels like your only rocker being Garchomp. Also, this is less. I'll be honest. This is less pivoting potential and momentum than I thought this would be. This to me really feels like this team is going to. It's definitely a hyper offense team, and I'm not really personally a hyper offense person because to me it very feels like it can easily be punished as well as it can just as easily as hyper offense can punish opponents for bad positioning. I feel like it also can be punished very easily. I think you have a lot of very good heavy hitters on this team. Not so much that want to take the hits.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, I think a type that we've done, like Fire, you have Fire Weak Genesect is your big one, but then your resists for Fire are Garchomp, Cyclizar, and Crawdont.
Yeah. Like, there's no defense stat that's over 100 besides Flutter Mane.
That I didn't even notice.
And there's only one HP set above, like, 100, but that's, like, Garchomp.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. Like, obviously this team is going to hit hard, and I feel like that's it. The team's goal is hit fast and hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
And honestly, I think this team is legitimately going to be scary to prep for just because of that. It's very do or die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would really like a Terra Captain. The fact that your only captain is Z Crawdon, I also don't really like that much.
Yeah.
To be fair, so like I do think but like I say that I also don't think this team has the best of Terra Captain options. You don't want to Terra Crawdon because yes, you'll get adaptability boosted, super adaptability boosted like Aqua Jet or knockoff, but then you lose the other when you Terra. You lose that other adaptability boost.
Yeah.
Overkill
You can make
kind of
your
wants to
crab
keep its
hammer shoot
typing.
really hard, but that's all you get.
Yeah, Overkill wants to keep its typing. You're not really making Terra Captain Cyclizar or Porygon 2, I feel. So that would like leave your only option as like Galarian Zapdos. Like,
Which I think is like an admirable one, but like still isn't really too spectacular, especially since that's going up to 21 points.
Yeah, like the thing is, this team has some massive flaws, but I still like don't. I think it's not terrible. That's the thing. Like I think there is some massive gaps in this team, but I don't think it's a bad team.
Like I think at minimum you have to put this at top of B because this is going to take games.
I would put it below Guy. I think it's below Guy's team still.
Like I feel like it's like very high reward, but also very high risk due to how not very tanky it is.
You see, actually, I think Guy's team is a really good team to compare it to, where Guy's like So Guy's main progress maker is going to be this Kirim White, right? On Killer's team, I feel like your main progress maker is going to be like Fluttermane and Genesect. And Galarian and Zapdos. But like I think you have a lot of good progress makers as well. But compared to Guy's team, I think the progress makers are a little bit worse. And not only that, I feel like you have less things that than on Guy's team can take a hit. So that makes me want to put this like right below Guy's team. Maybe. No, I think it is above Evan still. Do we disagree with that? Like mid B?
No, I think that's a very fair point for this.
Like, I think this team is going to hit really hard, but I think there is going to be a lot of times where it's going to struggle to have answers to threats. And that's my biggest concern.
I just want to add, if like any of the main sweepers ever get like a setup move off, this is gonna be horrifying.
Yeah, like if Chomp gets a does Fluttermane get? I think Fluttermane get. Yeah, Fluttermane gets Calm Mind. Like if Fluttermane gets a Calm Mind and you have nothing above 135 speed, you're fucked.
Yeah, and also
Crawdon gets a double D dance off. Goodbye.
Yeah. I will say to that earlier point, I'd say like nothing has over 100, but Porygon 2 with Eviolite is basically 2 stats.
Oh yeah, good point. So that's the big thing. It's like Porygon 2 is going to be your main switch in. To like a lot of hits. It is a bit knockoff prone. I think this team has some decent knockoff answers. Especially like Genesect's kind of an underrated one, just because you can run drives and they can't be knocked off. I think drives not be knocked off.
Like I don't think they can be because it would be like Silvally discs.
And you can't knock off an Ogerpon mask.
Yeah, I think so. I think these cannot be knocked off. Item manipulations cannot give Genesect a drive or remove a drive from Genesect. Okay.
There you go. Yeah.
So yeah, I think you have that answer. But I think this team's going to struggle to switch into a lot still. And like this will be a feast or famine team for sure. So I guess we'll see how it does. I don't really know what I would change on this team. I would like to see a flying, at the very least, I would like to see a flying resist from somewhere. That's what I would like to see. If we could get like a, I don't know, like
What the Zapdos for a Terra Kilowatt roll?
Sure. I guess, but like, I like having that.
I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. Or just get regular Zapdos. Was regular Zapdos drafted?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this team will be able to find ways to do well. It's just, I've got some questions on it. Now we move on to Lex's team.
How do you yet? Hello, Maggie.
Lex's team is...
Man.
Yeah, this is
awesome.
A team.
This is a team, alright.
Lex's team is Deoxys, Cinderace, Alolan Persian, Walking Wake, Terra Walking Wake, Terra Zarude, Groudon, Morgrem, Corviknight, Clefable, and Steelix. Hello, Sun Team. I think Lex made the very correct choice of not going into full Sun and instead drafting 2 very good Terra Captains with Sun, 1 physical, 1 special, and Groudon. And then this team is very well balanced around. I think Deoxys is a really good bond.
I agree.
I think Cinderace is still really solid in this format. I think I would have loved if this was a Z Alolan Persian, but I think obviously the lower Lex got, it was kind of just ice soup for her team.
Yeah.
But I still think this is a really good team.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say it, going into JDL, I was looking to pick up Grounded and Walking Wake. So, I'm not surprised to see that.
I've never been the biggest believer in Walking Wake, personally. But I do think this team is like one of the strongest ones that is like fully drafted right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't look at any of these mons and immediately think that this looks bad.
It's all fun and games until Morgrim prankster tricks a lagging tail onto your ace farm.
Yeah.
Please no. I only found out what Lagging Tail did like a few days ago.
But I think this feels like a
You're
really
welcome.
rounded team. Obviously, I think on the special side it's a lot less bulky. Obviously, on the physical side, you have Groudon, Steelix, and Corviknight. And even to an extent, Zarude. Speaking
It's mostly just on a special defense side.
yeah, you've got Clefable, though.
Yeah.
And, like, Wait can run AV sets, Zarude can run AV sets, Groudon can run AV sets. But, like...
Hell, Deoxys could probably run an AV.
Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I think, as far as like hazards go, I think this team is very okay. So you've got 4 stealth rocks and 2 spikes. I think that's good. I think you're a little bit lacking in removal, but I think those are both solid options. You have very good pivots. Like holy shit, all the knockoffs you can need. Not the best priority, but you've got the Deoxys extreme speed, and that kind of is like that makes up for it. However, I think everyone's gonna look at that Terra Walking Wake, and I think Terra Walking Wake is very menacing. I think Terra Zarude is one of the strongest Pokemon in the format. Straight up.
That thing's so damn fast.
It's terrifying.
It's not just it's so good. I know people who will die by Terra Zarude, and I think they are rightfully to do so. It can run like any type Terra. Also, you might not be thinking of that as a sun abusing mon. Trust me, it is. Go ahead. Try and burn it. Try and paralyze it in sun with Leaf Guard.
Yeah.
Also, like...
That's actually, like, the scariest thing about this team is that, like, most ways to answer Zarude are going to be negligible because of the fact it's a sun team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got maybe a controversial thing to say. Best team we've seen so far?
Yeah, I could get behind that. I didn't know about the Zarude Leaf Guard and
Yeah.
the Sun. That's actually kind of crazy.
My first word was like, oh, your main 2 Carrymons are very sun dependent, but then you also have Deoxys and Cinderace, which I think are very good mons here. I think Clef Corviknight is a really good defensive duo, and pairs really well, especially with the pivots you have. I think one issue with this team. First off, you have 3 dark types, but like one of them is Morgrim and one's a Alolan Persian. But you are missing some kind of crucial types. You're missing a normal type, you're missing a ghost type, you're missing a poison type, and I kind of would like to see those. Maybe fit on this team somewhere, if possible. But, like, I feel like you have good removal, so you don't have to worry about, like, toxic spikes that much. I still think this is a very solid team. I think this is top of S tier right now.
Yeah, I can't really argue with that.
Do we like the Primal Kyogre or the Groudon team more? I guess that's the question.
I think the one thing that makes me want to edge the Primal Kyogre team just slightly is the fact that there's so many things that benefit off the terrain on that team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is second in S tier.
I think Austin's is a lot scarier to prep for.
Mm-hmm. I'll agree on that. I think Lex is a very scary team, but I think Austin's is also just a little bit more terrifying. All right, moving on. We'll do Lily, and then we'll do Parker before you have to go.
Yup.
So we're on Lily's team. We have Chen Pao, Mega Salamence, Landorus, Terra Manaphy, Pheasantipity, Bramblegast, Zangoose, Rotom Heat, Z Metagross, Terra Zangoose, by the way, and Crabominable.
I like the speed. The speed makes me happy.
It goes up gradually, and I very much like that. I think you've got some very good bulky Pokemon on this team. Some very good, a lot of heavy hitters on both sides of the spectrum. A lot of physical mons, but also a lot of special mons. Like you've got Lando, you've got Manaphy on the special side that are really good. Rotom Heat can deal some damage. A lot of very good physical mons.
That is true.
Looking at the type chart, the two types this team has me a little bit concerned about are the fire types and the rock types. Obviously, like, those are the ones in red. Yeah, this team's gonna be running a lot of shoes. Well, I can see two guys who will be running shoes as much as they can, and they are called Rotom Heat, and they are called Chen Pao. Just especially with how much those guys like to switch in, I think they're really gonna want their shoes. I think this team has a very good combo of megas. I think, or not megas, Ubers. I think those are both very good. I think Terra Manaphy, prime real estate for a Terra Captain, really good choice. I like it a lot. I like a lot of the supporting pieces. If we just go, as far as like, so it's decent hazards. I think like bulkier Metagross that's gonna be happy to run it. I don't think Lando is gonna want to run Stealth Rocks. Like, top 5. Like, I think this form of Lando doesn't like to run Stealth Rocks so much, and I think Bramble isn't Bramble can run spikes, but it never to me feels like that's like a prime thing you're looking at Brambleghast to do.
Mm-hmm.
You do have some very
there's not a lot
nice
of
hazard
hazards.
removal. Very good item removal. I wish you had like another T-Wave or two. I think would be really helpful. But Rotom Heat can happily run either of these. I don't think Zangoose is ever running Thunder Wave.
Yeah.
The
Priority doesn't look awful.
priority is pretty damn good, I would say. Chien-Pao, Sucker, and Ice Shard. Zangoose Quick Attack with Terra Normal is going to hurt. Shadow Sneak from Bramble is going to be good. Bullet Punch from Metagross is going to be good.
Yeah.
As far as pivots go, you've got some very good options. Even with special sets, Lando's still happy to run Sheer Force. Manaphy has access to both Flip Turn and U-Turn, which is nice. And then Fez and Rotom. It's not the most. I think if you had another 2 or so, that'd be really good. Because that's what 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's call 4.5. So that's about a little bit under half the team that has access to it. So that's not bad. It's a solid amount. And I feel like it's safe to say Crabominable is a very kind of I don't think we'll be seeing a lot of that crab. If we're being real.
No, I have no idea what this thing does.
It hits hard, but it's not super bulky and not fast at all. But it's hard.
Yeah, I do see that.
The thing is, this is one of those teams where it's it kind of the words that comes to mind when I see this team is solid. You've got some very clear win cons. You've got very good captains, very good speed tiers. It just kind of feels like it kind of wishes it could have a little bit more in some categories. I wish it had another rock resist. A ground that resists rock would be really nice for it. Or another pivot could be really nice. Those feel like the big 2 things I wish it was having. Maybe a bit more status. Yeah. But I think it can absolutely work with the way it is. This does feel like an S tier team to me. I feel like I'm saying oh, I wish, but it feels really good still. You have a lot of good tools to work with. Tailglow Manaphy is a really good captain.
Yeah. This might be presumptuous of me to say, but I feel like this is what Killer's team wanted to be. If that makes any sense. Because I'm seeing a lot of things that still hit hard and are scary.
But it has those switch-ins. It has those pivots.
Yeah, it has this. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what.
Yeah, especially since this also has the effect of Mon comes in. Oh no, I have to deal with this immediately.
Nothing switches into a Lando Sheer Force boosted move. You don't want Manaphy to get a free tail glow up.
You don't want Metagross to get an agility up.
You don't Metagross to enjoy it. You don't want Mega Mance to get a D-Dance up.
Yeah.
We're just listing Mon after Mon.
I would definitely say S tier for this for sure.
I think this is bottom of S tier just because it doesn't feel like as immediately threatening as I don't know. I think Austin's team is still the team to beat.
I think like if you compare this to I think Austin is still the team to beat, but I think in comparison to Lex, I think a lot of Lex's Mons need that tiny bit of setup more than this team does.
Okay, I think here's a good way to put it. This team is more well-rounded than Lex's. I feel like Lex's team has like higher highs in what it can threaten, but this team doesn't have like the Ice Soup levels that Lex has. Because like your Ice Soup Mons here are Terra, Zangoose, and Crabominable. You have 1, Lex has like 2.5. Right? Because it's like
I agree.
It's like you have like the Morgrem, Alolan Persian, and the Steelix. Yeah, that's like the big change. So I'm gonna say put this above Lex. So we're gonna jump ahead to Parker before he has to leave. God damn it, I keep
Yuppers.
So Parker, you want to run us through the guys? I can put it in draft order, so by point value.
So going into this draft, I wanted to try Formosa, and I realized that thing is kind of fucking fast.
Yeah.
And I thought it'd be really funny to draft something else that's also really fast, which is Mega Aerodactyl. And I knew right away I really wanted Mew. I just had a gut feeling Mew would be dope to have on the team. Be it like its support options it could offer. It could probably do offensive things too. I haven't really looked yet.
You can do whatever you want it to. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and then I'm surprised I got it 4th round, but Dialga, really glad to have that on the squad as well. And then, everything after, like, Tentacruel I've used before. I love Tentacruel. Skeletor, just thanks to you, Julia. Big recommendations, big pickup. Honestly, everything after, I think, Tentacruel was just Julia helping me out. That's my coach right there. And then, of course, Apom is fodder.
That would be like Skeletor, Swampert, Obstagoon, Whimsicott, Apom.
Yeah. I guess thoughts?
So I'm a little biased, but I think you've got a very well-rounded team. You pointed out that like Thermos and Mega Aerodactyl are fast as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are. They're very fucking fast. I do think it's a bit of a problem. Like I don't think it's too big a problem, but if you could fill that speed tier, that like gap between Whimsicott and Mega Arrow, I'd love that. But I wouldn't worry too much about it. I think you've got some really good bulk. You can do whatever you want. Tentacle's really good, like special bulk. Swampert and Skeldurge are good physically. I think Terra Skeldurge really fucking good. Happy to run a bunch of different defensive types. Dialga is really good defensively. Also, Dialga is just a fucking nuke. Like,
yeah, that special attack looks crazy.
Not just that. Like, drop a Draco from that. Yeah. I think Obstagoon's a really nice little pickup. And
that's crazy when the speed average is over 100.
Yeah.
Parker, do me proud with Obstagoon. It's one of my favorite Pokemon.
I've used that thing once and I enjoyed it.
Like you've got really good, a lot of removal options. You've got a lot of hazard setting. You've got a lot of pivoting potential. I think like you've got how many is that? One. So let's not count Apom. Like let's be real. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 knockoffs, 2 switcheroos, 3 tricks. Okay, so 2 tricks because we're not counting him twice. Mm-hmm. You have options. You have quite a few Hot Thunder Waves. You've got 2 Willows. You've got 2 Yawns. That's more than most people have. You've got a lot of phasing potential. You have. It kind of feels like you just have like every tool you would want to have, basically. You're missing
Awesome.
You're missing everything but like an electric and ice types, which like that like bolt beam combo is really good to have, but it's livable without, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe if you could get another like an electric type, that'd be really good because that you can shore up that flying weakness. But like, Dialga is going to be able to take those flying hits just fine. I'm biased. I think this is a very good team.
I think this is like, I'm with you. I fail to see anything that is like a concrete flaw on the team. It's really good.
Like you've got very clear win cons with like Terra Skeldurge, Mew offensive sets, Pheromosa, Mega Arrow. Dialga can just nuke some things out of orbit. Like you have options with this team, and both on the physical, like on the offensive and the defensive side. I think that's what's really good about this team. How you could run like physically offensive Dialga with that 120 if you wanted. Run like heavy slam and shit.
Ooh. Okay.
Soul, Maggie, where are you guys thinking we put this? Because I have an opinion, but I'll wait to see what you guys say first.
So this is like, I think it's either high A or bottom of S, and bottom of S is purely me thinking like, I can't see a clear flaw with the team.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly where I am.
Like top of it, like I don't see a flaw, but compared to the top three, I don't think it's like when I look at the top three, I'm just horrified about facing them. This one, I'm like I'm scared, but not as much as like the top three.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I see what you mean.
But I also do want to point out actually, because it just occurred to me, if Mega Arrow ever gets a D-Dance off, God, that thing's running away with a game.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
So I think this is definitely in the like upper A to low S. I think in cases like in this case, then it might be good to like play it safe, drop, because I think I get what you're saying, Soul, and I think I do agree. Where it's you don't see the immediate like. You don't have the immediate fear of like the other teams in S, which I think I get behind. I think you have very clear threats. Like I think you've got a lot of clear wing.
I don't know if I put this in a prep doc, and I'm like going against it for my next week. This is going to be one of the ones that make people think a lot because you need an answer to Mew, which is almost impossible since you can never predict it. You need to be ready for Whimsicott. And then you still have to have answers to Mega Arrow, Pheromosa, and Dialga.
Yeah, okay, I'm putting it
S. Skeletor,
I think it's bottom of S for now.
We take those.
Yeah.
We take those.
You cooked, Parker.
Thank you. With your help, of course.
No pleasure. So that leaves us with... Oh, you were going to say?
Oh, yeah, sorry. My closing thoughts? It's an honor to finally have a team rated S after being like D's and C's for my entire career.
Hey, let's see. Where did you end up in the season 2 power rankings?
I don't think it was high.
Yeah, we did not. We had you second to last.
Yeah.
Well, that was the original team. That was your original team.
I did
that
make
was like, what was that team? Like,
I had some random shit on there.
And then I didn't do those season 1 ones, but you were. That was that.
I still
you were
like
12
bottom
out of 16.
But yeah, closing thoughts. I think the other S tier teams are scary because like there's like a lot of scary shit on there. But would you say mine's S because it's just well rounded? Like what?
I'd say well rounded, but then you do have scary shit on it for sure.
Yeah, like I'm pointing out Mew especially here. People are gonna be horrified of having to prep for a Mew in general.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you had like Archeops and like Alolan Golem. Oh my god, yeah, you really changed out like your lower tiers. That's what you did in season 2.
Yeah.
And you made them so much better.
You know what, like Houndstone.
Yeah, because you had like Terra Gigalith.
Bombirdier.
You got Houndstone, you got Birdier, you got like
Something else I
Stoutland.
can't remember. Stoutland. And Sceptile for the Z
Oh
guy.
yeah. No, I think you made really good upgrades there. Yeah, this feels like an S tier team to me, just because it's solid and like you have two of the fastest Pokemon in the format. Can we just like we've barely touched on that. You have two of the fastest fucking things.
Yeah. Like, people are actually gonna consider Trick Room into you. Let's be real.
Parker, you have two Pokemon
Nothing's
that are
outspeeding. Like, having one Mon that can outspeed anything is crazy. Having two was absurd.
Parker, you literally have some Pokemon that are 30 points faster than other people's fastest Pokemon. Like,
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Rank it in, buddy.
yeah.
I just got back. My fastest Pokemon is 116.
Yeah, you're one of the people that has Parker's third fastest Pokemon is Aurora's fastest.
Your Whimsicott.
All right. I think moving on. We'll move on to Maggie.
Yeah.
In Maggie, if you want to break it down.
I'm sorry I can't stay, Maggie.
Oh, it's all good. Go to your movie. Go have fun.
I'm giving it an S
Enjoy
tier, even though I don't
Sinners.
know what's
It's
there.
so good.
Have fun in movie.
Alright.
Oh,
Goodbye,
you're
guys. Have
seeing
fun.
Sinners? Oh,
Yes, I'm
dude, you're
seeing
gonna have a
Sinners.
blast.
I saw it
know.
earlier today.
Julia inspired me to go see it. Okay, bye guys. Have fun.
Bye.
Okay. So, bringing this down, my messy ass team. I want to preface right off. I wanted Xerneas originally. Didn't pan out. So I got Yveltal and made Skye very sad.
Maybe you and Aurora can trade.
I got the Mon that I wanted more than anything else because I love Nagu. Aka Naganadel. I got Medicham Mega Chandelure as a Terra Captain. Lycanroc Dusk as a Z Captain, Mamoswine, Primarina, Fortress, Leafeon Terra, and the GOAT, everyone's favorite electric type, Ampharos.
Yeah. So you've picked. So
You love
I'm
the shoot sheet.
glad that was indeed Ampharos in the message, because I actually didn't. I'm kidding. I knew it was Ampharos, but.
Yeah. I was like, I'm a preface. I sent you that message while I was not in a good state of mind, so I didn't double check the spelling.
You're good. Well, it was that in the message, so you did. No, I think this is again another team that feels like very solid. You've got a lot of Pokemon that would be considered like upper tier. Like Primarina is like amazing in like on any fucking team. Sorry, this is one of my eyes went to. I think Yveltal really good. You can probably run like 3 dark type moves on Yveltal some weeks. I'm not joking. You could run like Foul Play, Sucker Punch knockoff on physical sets. And it's gonna do a lot of fucking
best
damage.
knockoff user in Sword and Shield.
Probably the best one here as well. I think Nagandel very good at snowballing with speed boosts through Beast Boost, and very good stats. Can also run nasty plot sets. I think Z Dusk was a really interesting pickup to me because I saw you put the gift for like Lycanroc Dusk. I'm like, oh okay, Terra Lycanroc, Z Lycanroc, okay. However, it does get a 100% accurate Rock type move.
That was the idea. That was the idea.
And I respect that. I think, like, again, you've got just a bunch of Pokemon that'd be considered, like, good in a normal draft. You've got, like, Mamoswine, Terra Chandelure, Mega Medicham, Primarina. You know I love Fortress. Like, I feel like you kind of just, like, have everything... Like, if we go over here real quick... Yeah, you've got 2 Stealth Rockers, 3 Stealth Rockers, 2 Spikers, 2 Tox Spikers. Not to be fair, some of those Spikes and Tox Spikes are Nagandel, and you're probably not running that most weeks, but it's definitely an option. I think you've got solid pivot options with like 2 U-turns, 2 Volt Switches, and a Flip Turn. That's again like half your team. And then 2 baton passes, but probably not much. I do think I would like maybe that like third option for hazard removal. I think that'd be really nice. Maybe another defog if you could squeeze it in. You have 3 phenomenal knockoffers, by the way. Yes, I'm including Leafeon in that. I think Leafeon's a really solid knockoffer, actually.
Yeah, like, Leafeon, you may look at and be like, nah, that's like, a never-coming mon, but it has respectable speed, and honestly, 130 defense is still going to take a hit.
Yeah, it's definitely going to take a hit on the physical side. You've got stellar priority options. Sucker Punches galore. Leafeon can run Quick Attack. Cell Rock's like the default rock move for Lycan Rock Dusk. And then Mega Magicham's happy to fit Bullet Punch in. Probably not Fake Out. Actually, that's not true. Even in some weeks, Fake Out can be really good. Like, for example, against like the weather and terrain teams, you can use it to stall out turns. So it's a very nice option. You've got very good setup clearing. So like you got some hazes, you got an Encore, 2 Dragon Tails, a Clear Smog, and 3 Roars. 4 Taunts, which feels a little on the lower side somehow. But I think you have really good options. I would like to see another spinner here, maybe, if that was possible. But it's like, I don't know who you would drop.
It's a hard area to squeeze in.
Because it's like, if anyone, I'd say it's like Leafeon, but like I think your team is slightly ground weak, a little bit ghost weak, and honestly, I'm more concerned about the rock weak, because your only rock resist is Mega Medicham.
Yeah, it's mostly just the rock I see.
But
really concerning.
I'll be honest, this is a damn good team. Like,
thank you.
You have
that's good.
A lot of clear win cons. Naganadel, Yveltal, Terra Chandelure, Primarina's gonna be hard to deal with. Fortress can actually put in work sometimes, and I feel like Mamoswine to me always just feels like the most overlooked Pokemon. Like I think it always can put in work.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about Parker's Season 2 team a little bit ago, and there is the fact that, like, Mamo is ultimately what beat me in Season 2.
Yeah. No, Mamoswine is a really good Pokemon. Ice Ground is resisted by very few Pokemon.
And, being a Fix Fatmon also means that, like, it can be decently defensive against other ice types and fire types to an extent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it actually, weirdly enough, it kind of pairs pretty damn well with Yveltal. It can hit, I think it gets Iron Head, so it can hit the fairies that are weak to it, or it's happy to deal with those rocks and electric types with Earthquake. Like, actually kind of like a really nice little pairing. I think you got a lot of really good mons. I really would like to see another hazard remover. That's one thing that I think wouldn't hurt. I think if you're going to look anywhere, it would be like that Ampharos and Leafeon duo. But
yeah, that would preferably be like what I would sub about. Probably more likely Amphi, but like we'll see in that vein because I really did need another ground resist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think this feels like an A-tier team to me, personally.
Thank you.
The question is where in A-tier.
That's based.
And I don't the question is like I don't know is it above Hatter's team? And my first like vibe thought is no. So if I were to pick, I would put it, I don't know what Soul and Aurora think, or if you want to type in Maggie, but my thought is in between.
I would agree with you. I think Ink like Hatter or just like there's more of a long game in Hatter's team, I feel.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think you've got a lot of good options. If you had another hazard remover and like a normal type, I would, and like another rock resist, I would feel a lot more confident in putting this even above mine. But for now, it feels so... Like, it feels very well-rounded. It's just got a few issues. I think I see a lot of good win cons, a lot of good mons. It feels really good.
I can get behind its placement.
Yeah.
I'm a little tuned out right now. A Pokemon that was on my original draft plan got dropped, and now I'm rebuilding the team.
Oh. So, I see that we are picking up Thunder? No, wait, no. Or Bronzong?
No, it was a drop from earlier. I was just playing Overwatch.
Oh, is it the Latias?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ben... At the very end, we'll go back through Ben's changes, because he made quite a few. Other people made them as well, but Ben made a lot of notable ones, so I feel like that should be, like, a good one to talk about. So we'll do that at the very end. You know, when we're on, like, hour 4. I kid. We only have a few teams left, actually. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So moving on to today's team, we have Dragapult, Mega Lucario, Gliscor, Terra Gliscor, sorry, Reshiram, Rotomosh, Rillaboom, Grimmsnarl, Lapras, Muck, and Berserker. Would anyone like to take the lead for a second while I go grab water?
Alright, so basically
Got
what
Maggie.
we got here is we got a Gliscor Terra team. And I actually don't know what else to say in that regard. But yeah, there's some severely threatening things because Mega Lucario on its own is going to kill something. It's got adaptability.
Mega Lucario was my intended pick until I pivoted to Xerneas.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's
It is
good.
quite powerful.
Then of course there's Dragapult.
Yeah,
Just
one of the
fast,
fastest
it's
mons in
hard.
the format.
It's the Pult.
You're sitting on Rillaboom here, which means you have terrain to help with the healing, which is going to be extra annoying when you're already making people deal with a Gliscor.
And there's just a
definitely.
Reshiram.
Yeah.
And also, depending on who's you're fighting, Rotomosh can also be annoying to kill.
Oh, Rotomosh is always annoying to kill.
There's just a Reshiram on this
And
team,
let's not
and it's
forget
like-
there's a Grimmsnarl that is also going to make things annoying to kill.
Shout out to Grimcarl. No, I think...
Let's put those top 4 behind screens.
Oh, yeah, make the Gliscor even more unkillable.
Yep.
Yeah, like, legitimately, this team just screams that you are going to have a hard time killing me if I'm playing it well.
I would agree. Yeah, I agree. I love Dragapult. I think Mega Lucario really good. Also, I love like fighting Ghost. Probably one of the best combos of types, like dual types. That's a wonderful combo right there. I think you've got.
Also, some might look at this and see like there's only one terror or anything like that. Gliscor is terroring every game anyway.
Yeah,
so
remember when
this is one of those teams where it honestly doesn't need another terror.
Hey, remember when I said earlier on my team that Dragonite is probably like a top 3 Terramon? I would have Gliscor in that conversation. That conversation to me is like top 5 is probably like in no order: Dragonite, Gliscor, King Gambit, Zarude, and Regieleki. Like that is probably the top 5 in my opinion. And the Gliscor is going to be a bitch to deal with. Also, keep in mind, what's Gliscor normally weak to? Water and ice. Guess what? Rotomosh is right there. And what's Rotomosh weak to? Grass. Muck and Rillaboom are right there. Also, oh wait, never mind. Thank God. I was going to say, Gliscor and Rotomosh from grassy terrain. Nope, they don't get it. Thank God. But like,
Gliscor will when it terrors.
Oh. Oh, that's disgusting. Yeah, never mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I will say that I think is a shame with this team, I would have loved to see a Terra Lapras. I think Lapras is a really good low tier Terra captain. But unfortunately, it looks like they didn't have the points. I also do not like our steal options are not like real steals. Like Lucario is a more offensive steal, and then we have Berserker.
Honestly, you could remove Berserker entirely from this team, in my opinion, if it doesn't change at all.
Yeah.
Honestly,
You're slightly like, but that's like more like what it means. Like you don't have a real like steel bulk. You've got decent hazards. I think you're in removal. I would really like a rapid spinner. I think that would really help this team. You also just don't have a lot of guys on your team that can just heal on their own. It's really reliant on grassy terrain. Like Rotom has Pain Split, but besides that, this is it. You have some very solid pivot moves. Dragapult is basically running U-turn every week. It is.
yeah.
Stab or not stab. Oh my god, it's late. Priority parting shot is lovely, and you've just got Rotom Wash with Volt Switch. And I think excellent item control, good status options. Is that the longest priority list so far?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
I
I think
just got here a little bit ago, but still what I've seen, yeah.
it's the longest I think I've seen. Besides like these first two and this one, I think like all of these are actually like really runnable. Like you've got really good removal or like disruption, stopping sweepers in their place. I think the biggest issue with this team is I'd like a different. If you could find room for another steel type instead of like maybe even Lapras. You have the bulky water with Rotom Wash. So I'd like to see maybe like if you got like rid of Lapras and Berserker for like a real steel, like a semi-real steel type and a water maybe, or like it's a 1-pointer. So like Berserker is how much? 3. Lapras is like what, 5? So you can grab like a 7-pointer. I would honestly prefer Magneton over those two, if I'm being honest. Like, just as like an example. But like then you're down to like Gliscor is your only rocker, I guess is the issue. But realistically, Gliscor is your only rocker right now because you're not really bringing Berserker that often, probably. Or maybe even like Caparaja could be a good option. But just, I would like that more than Berserker on this team, I guess. However, this is I think this team is, again, in the very like solid category, if that makes sense. I think this is a either new top of B or bottom of A tier team. What do people think?
I could say top of A and B.
Top of B? Because
Yeah,
it's like, I think if it very much feels like a team where it's like if this was a normal draft, I would be scared of it. And it's like almost like I could see this happening in like a real draft league, basically. For the most, obviously not the fucking Reshiram like these three, but like if this was like regular Lucario, whatever, regular Gliscor, that feels like a real team. I would see.
I do think that this is like, out of everything we've looked at, this is like the realest stall team potentially.
See, I don't even think that, because it's like it's really just Gliscor, Rotom Wash, like defensive duo, Rillaboom, and then maybe like
and even then, like just those two, with the grassy terrain in being usable for Gliscor specifically because of it having Terra, makes it feel like it.
Like I think this team has really good progress makers. Like it is going to be, it's not going to have to stall. It has Mons that can do a lot of dish out a lot of damage. I think it's a little more concentrated, and then it does have those more defensive parts around it compared to other teams. But I do think, like, I think the fact that you have a very clear, like, special attacker, a solid physical attacker, 2 solid physical attackers, and then, like, 2 Mons that can, like, flip either way is a really good combo. And I think it is top of B. I'm not going to move anyone down from their tiers. I think everyone is in the tiers they've assigned. I think, though, we'll just make another tier, or another extended by 1.
Make a bigger tier.
Yeah. I think, yeah, this team's got some very good things. I wish it had like another like a real defensive steal, a bit more healing, and a better rapid spinner is basically it. Like no wish. If this team had wish passing, it would be A tier, right?
Yeah. Don't give it the idea of getting the Blissey.
Honestly, Blissey would actually help this team. Well, Blissey would help a lot of teams, but yeah. Moving on to Foe. Foe has Terra Tornadus, T, Z Raikou, Meowstic, Kyurem Black, Melvin, Golden Go, Quilladin, Terra Ursaluna, Diancie, and Slowking. Welcome back, Kyurem Black. Off the bat, I really like
Kyurem Black with all the setup in the world.
Yeah, I think Kyurem Black's got a lot of tools around it that really help. Probably one of the best defoggers, one of the best rapid spinners, and it's got chilly reception. Perfect. All right, more news at 7. That's all. No, but actually, I think this team is in a very solid spot. I think Terra Tornti is really good. I'm not sure how I feel about Z Raikou is the biggest question mark I have. It doesn't feel like it's going to gain a lot from Z. Like it has a very wide like coverage move pool, which I think will be very benefited by Z. But it doesn't have like the utility moves that you want from Z, I feel. Lex, I was bringing this up in like in messaging with Lex earlier, and Lex was like she would have really liked to see like the Z Golden Go, because then you get a extra make it rain basically, and you're less knockoff weak because you don't take the bonus knockoff damage. I'm kind of an Ursaluna hater, I'll say it. I'm not really big on regular Ursaluna.
Oh, come on. You got a problem with guts?
Oh no, I love the design and all that. And I think but it always very much just to me it feels like a take one and die kind of mon, and I'm not a big fan of that philosophy.
I feel like the philosophy works out a lot better though when you have a Terra attached to it.
Yeah, but let me put it this way. For the same amount of points, you can get Terra Golden Go. Or Terra Diancie as well. And I think then if you have like main Terra Captain Torn T, and then like low tier Terra Captain Diancie, or like secondary Diancie, or like secondary Golden Go, that feels a lot more reliable.
I don't disagree.
I think this is a pretty good team though. Good speed tiers. It's got some nice utility. Like if we go into here, you've got 2 A+ hazard setters and removers. Like Diancie is really good at both. Torn is a great remover, and Tusk is a great remover as well. I think you've got some very good... I guess I should say... you got some very good removal. Like Golden Go with... Listen, hey, want to know how to deal with that Gliscor from earlier? Trick Pecha Berry on Golden Go, baby. But like, I think you've got some... The options you have for pivoting are very good. I wish there was more, though. And like, none of this is not real priority. Okay, maybe like the extreme speed on Raikou, but like, the rest of this is fake. You only have 1 Encore, which I'm biased, but I think Encore is one of my favorite moves, so I would like to see more there. We've got some good
I think at least having 1 Encore is better than having no Encore whatsoever.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And like Diancie can probably run it, but typically fast Encores are better than slow Encores. But that's beside the point. I think there's really good mons here, but I'm gonna let someone else say what they think, because I'm a little just confused on where I guess on this team.
It's all. I can't really see this as anything but an A or B, because I don't think it's S-worthy. I think the flaws you pointed out are, like, very true. But at the same time, this feels like a team that is perfectly going to be able to do things to enable something like Kieran Black, and then Kieran Black wins the game.
You can't see me, but I'm shaking my head right now in like agreement.
I feel like it's also be like, but at the same time with the Charp, it feels like very weak to certain things as well.
I wish that,
like outside of the Kieran Black win con is where I see the flaws more evidently.
I can get behind that. I agree. The fact that you're missing some crucial types like a dark, a fire, and a poison feels a little. I wish you had that. So we've got stuff.
The no poison actually does hurt.
Yeah.
Because
like Kieran Black is a good win con, but that's like your biggest and like only.
Because I will say, like, I think this team is very much built around Kieran Black. This is Kieran Black and his like posse.
Kieran Black and friends.
Yeah, but like the issue is, I feel like outside of Kieran Black, like playing for a Kieran Black endgame, you don't like maybe like some nasty plot torn sets, but like I feel like this team is going to suffer for like endgame, and it doesn't really have endgames besides the Kieran Black endgame to me. You don't really have a dedicated like.
If Kieran Black goes down
it
like
just
early somehow, it's gonna have a lot more trouble.
It just has so many possible ways of setting up Kieran Black.
Exactly, and that's why I'm leaning 8. Here's the thing: if
like this looks both. It's like I said before. This looks both like it's an A team, but you remove Kieran Black from it, and suddenly it looks like a C team.
Yes,
like it's weird the effect Kieran Black has on this team, where like. This is a team that has Great Tusk, Goldengo, like Torn T, Slowking, and they look like nobodies almost because of Kieran Black.
And
it's 170 attack. That's ridiculous.
It's a team entirely built around supporting Kieran Black. That's what the impression it gives off. It's going to be how can we get Kieran Black in to clean up the game, and I think it's going to do a pretty damn good job at that. But if your Kieran Black can't clean up the game, you might be fucked. Like Ursula, here's like how a typical game is going to go. You lead like Great Tusk or Torn. You pivot around. Ursaluna comes in, Terras, gets a kill, dies. Pivot around a bit more. Maybe something else dies. Get into a spot for Kieran Black to come in. Kieran Black's going to come in, D-dance. That's game. If you can't do that, if you can't get to that position though. I can't really see ways for this team to win. Like who is going to step up for this team to win? And like I'm leaning bottom of A or above Skye is where I'm leaning.
I think it's
maybe I think the perfect place for it honestly is top of B because of that
add more to B. Yeah.
I want to continue to preface. I don't think this is a bad team. I think this is going to destroy people that can't get or take down the Kieran Black or deal with its support line. But if teams can, then it falls apart.
Okay. Yeah. No, I agree.
It all hinges on Kieran Black, basically.
Granted, I'm very much so looking forward to being proven wrong.
Yeah. It's just I'm worried. Like obviously a lot of these are good mods, but it feels like I never look at someone picking up gold or torn and I'm like, okay, yeah, that thing is gonna win the games. It's a damn good mod, but it's not really a progress maker. It's a utility mod, and I think that's the big thing. Anyone else have any last thoughts before we move on? All right, moving on to Poke's team.
S tier, it has Storm.
There are definitely Terra captains on this team, I promise.
It's an S tier team. I don't care what you think. It has Snorm.
It's Snom, not Snorm.
So we've got Terra Jolteon, Rabombi, Z Monkey Dory, Giratina, Lucario, Mega Blastoise, Krokorok, Serena, Celesteela, Terra Garganacl, and Snom.
I'm out of the loop. What is the Z Monkey Dory for?
He wanted a Z captain and didn't really have anything else that was good for it, and Monkey Dory gets a parting shot.
Fair enough.
Before anyone points out the fire weakness, that is being accentuated by Snom on this team. Keep that in mind. You remove Snom, it goes down a lot more.
Snom's gonna get a kill. I'm telling you this right now. Snom's gonna kill something.
Snom's gonna be not coming to a game.
No, that thing will appear. I believe. Poke. Prove them all wrong.
So...
Snom is going to be put into Mega Blastoise cannon and just launched at the enemy.
Important to note, Mega Blastoise does get Shell Smash. That's the big guy on this team to me. Mega Blastoise, like, if we want to talk about progress makers, Shell Smash Mega Blastoise is a fucking problem. That's a problem maker.
No.
I think as far as, like, I think Giratina, very good, bulky Uber as well. A lot of really good potential. Just does it get Roost? It does not. Okay, so it's relying on Rest Talk for healing. That's a bit of a problem. I think Terra Jolteon is superb and then you have Rabombi with webs. I think, as we discussed, Z Monkey Dory can just do damage and also get Z Parting Shot. Celesteela is like Hitler incarnate, so
Yeah.
that thing is a pain to deal with.
And also with Rabombi, it also gets Quiver Dance if it ever needs to do anything with how fast it is.
Like, I think you've got some clear options. Serena's a really good, like, mid-tier hazard remover with decent bulk. I think Krokorok, really good 1-point pickup. Like, actually. With Intimidate and Eviolite, it can actually tank some physical hits, and then gets knockoff as well. It'll probably be running, like, if it's being brought, it's probably running, like, max HP, maybe some attack, Intimidate, knockoff, Toxic, Stealth Rocks, and Earthquake. Where I do think this team falls apart a little bit, I think physically it struggles offensively.
There is no clear physical attacker outside of a Lucario that's running like SD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And in that regard, I would honestly almost maybe rather see like a Terra Lucario or a Terra Jolteon. But I don't know. Should we talk about the Garganacl in the room?
It's Garganacl.
Uber. That's an Uber. Fuck that thing.
I think Terra
I'm with
Garganacl
Aurora.
actually has the potential to be a problem for a lot of teams.
Yeah, Julia, go write that apology form.
I have nothing to apologize for. I never doubted him. I'm not Lex with Crobat. That would imply I ever had lost faith in it. No, I think Terra Garganacl is actually one of the best. Is a very good physical check. I think it is going to create a lot of problems for a lot of teams. Not just Salt.
Yeah,
Obviously, Salt Cure can be a problem, but that's resolved. Covert Cloak. But like, tell me you want to have your fairies taking a heavy slam from Garganacl, or your steels taking a body press from it. Like, it will be able to do damage. Also, it's a decent rock setter.
So annoying.
It's actually one of the only rock setters he has. The other one's Krokorok. But he does have, I think Poke has very good hazard removal options. Rabombi's happy to run Defog sometimes. Mega Blastoise can run Rapid Spin. Giratina can run Defog. And I think those are very good pivots. Your main ones are I think Rabombi Jolteon, really good fast pivot combo. And then you've got Z Parting Shot from Monkey Dory. Looking down here a little bit. Weirdly enough...
also, like, probably... we've mentioned this about Krokorok in, like, other seasons, and it's probably, like, one of the best possible one-pointers you could ever draft. Especially as an Eviolite-mon.
Yeah, I would agree. Stealth Rock's knockoff, Toxic, Earthquake is probably going to be the set for it. But, like, you can run, like, Roar or something. Roar, Taunt.
And plus, Intimidate is always nice.
Yeah. I think having double Aromatherapy and a Heal Bell is actually really good because you can just avoid being hazarded at all time. Especially, Jolteon actually kinda can fit Heal Bell in its moveset a lot of the time because it really needs to run, like, 3 moves. And they are called Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Terra Blast. I think my biggest issue with this team is that there's no dedicated, like, physical attacker. I almost want to say it's like Garganackle with, like, Body Press and Heavy Slam. Like, obviously there's Lucario, but, like, it's really those two. Well, I guess you can run physical Steela sets, but... How does everyone else feel about this team?
I'm not good at giving polls.
So I guess the question is, where do we... I don't think it's C tier. If we say B tier, I think we're have to take the executive decision to move a couple of teams up to A tier. Because I don't think...
B
I'm still fine with putting Foe.
I don't know. I feel like
I'm
a lot of
Foe
teams ending up in
below
B
Skye.
is just inevitable with an Ubers League.
Yeah.
I'm for the idea of Foe right below Skye.
Okay. I'm going to take executive decision, and I'm going to say we do that. Just because it's going to get, like, really long and look really weird otherwise.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So we have this question of where in B, because I feel like this is a B tier team. I think the physical thing isn't enough of a problem. Weirdly enough, it doesn't feel like enough of a problem to me where I'd say it's C tier. It's not like Ben where there's, like, actual big, like, issues with the team. So do we put it... I think it's above Goats. Is it above or below Aurora?
Out of this one. Well, actually, no, I won't. I'm pretty sure. I think Poke is a better team than me.
Okay.
Right now, at the moment.
Yeah, we're just going to judge off of these teams right now. We're not. Don't put the changes in right now, please. No.
I'm cooking something. It's not going to be done by the time.
I think.
I don't know. I thought I like Aurora's team a bit more than Poke's.
Thank you. Oh my god, thank you.
But that's just me.
You have more faith in it than I do.
I think Poke has a lot of he has a weirdly of like a bulkier team, it feels like, but I think he also, or no, he doesn't have as bulky a team despite having like Garganackle, Giratina, and Celesteela. But I think he does. I think I like his speed tiers more, especially with web support. Like, that Mega Blastoise is going to be a fucking problem with webs.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't accounting for the web support.
I think that might put it...
above Aurora.
I think, yeah. Final 3!
Oh
Plus-
boy, now it's my turn.
Alright, we do souls and then I got a jet.
Okay. Alright, Soul, if you want to introduce us to your team, I'll put it in point value so you can go through them one by one.
Alright, we got Bird Up, we got Ho-Oh here. We got Terra Como, the big dragon. Terra Sandy Shocks, good electric ground type. Slowbro and Tangrowth, the other two regenerator boys. Hisuian Zoroark for the just great normal ghost typing and just being fast. Mega Beedrill, honestly, I just wanted to use Mega Beedrill on a team. Tinkaton, also great Fairy Steel typing. And some good utility stuff. Golisopod was my last pick. Honestly, just good priority. And then Morpeko Z. You have Rapid Spin and Parting Zod Z. That's what you're here for.
Yeah, I've actually Morpeko has a surprisingly really wide coverage move pool. Like he gets
Yeah, did you know that thing got Seed Bomb? I didn't.
You've got Seed Bomb, Brick Break, you've got Fighting, Fire, you've got Ice, Dragon.
And it's decently fast too, comparatively.
Yeah, 97.
It also gets a knockoff, right?
Yes, it gets knockoff Rapid Spin Parting Shot. It's one of those Pokemon. It's all three. Yeah, I think it's a really good, solid choice actually for a Z captain. I think Terra Sandy Shocks and Terra Komodo are pretty solid. I like the Shocks more, but I think Komodo is still also a solid option. I love Hisuian Zoroark. I think you have a very good Fire, Water, Grass Regenerator core, and that feels disgusting.
So I just want to say off the side, because me and Soul talked about the conceptualization of this team a lot. I believe, Soul, you were originally going to have 5 Regenerator Mons.
No, that was a joke. Just if something went wrong with my early picks, just fuck it, meme all Regenerator team, because that just sounds funny. But no, my original plan was just get my Fire, Water, Grass Regenerator core, because I wanted to use Ho-Oh because it sounded fun.
Okay.
This team is upsetting to look at.
I think, yeah, you got some very good... You got a lot of very good physical attackers, a lot of very good special attackers.
I hate Ho-Oh.
Not as much on the special side, but you definitely still have your options. Slowbro Skulls.
Also, I think the pivoting on this team is amazing in general as well. Because, Slowbro, you've got Teleport, for one thing. Sandy Shocks is one of the fastest Volt Switches, I believe. While also being immune to Volt Switch. Zoroark gets U-turn. Beedrill has the scariest U-turn in the game. Morpeko for pivot. And never underestimate the pivot potential of a Golisopod.
Yeah. I'm inclined to agree. Also, 6 knockoffs.
So many knockoffs.
And with the exception, even Hisuian Zoroark is happy to run them. You've got 3 rockers, I think, that are all very solid options. You've got 2 really good hazard removers in Ho-Oh and Morpeko. My biggest worry with this team is that you are kind of lacking in the healing. Not with move. I feel like you're missing some cleric potential, a heal bell or something would be really good.
Yeah, a heal bell. Definitely.
Heal bell or aromatherapy would be lovely on this team. And that definitely feels like it's missing. So your team's feels a little bit weak to status. Oh my God,
the other thing is just besides Golisopod, I don't really have that much in terms of priority.
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah. That it's not too big a problem, but it's a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, Golisopod is the priority.
Yeah, this team definitely feels like one of the fattest teams around. I think you're kind of feeling with that type chart a little bit of it from Golisopod with that second bug with the slight flying and fight and not fighting rock weaknesses.
Yeah.
But you've kind of checked all of your boxes. You have that fighting type to pair with the fighting ghost combo. You've got the fire water grass core. You've got steel fairy dragon with technically fairy steel core. Which does one of the biggest questions I do have is I'm not sure how good of a Terra Captain Komodo will be.
I do want to at least point out, even though there's not a real cleric in the way of like Wish or anything, Komodo does actually have the ability to probably set itself up twice thanks to the parting shot.
Yeah, I was meaning when I said like no cleric, I meant more like the heal bell or aromatherapy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the status is the big problem I have.
Yeah, and like I think like T-Wave and Willows are pretty good into this team. Toxics as well with the only I guess it's Tinkaton and then Make a Beedrill that eat those. Yeah, I'm just my biggest worry is like I don't know how good of a don't know how good of a Terra Captain Komodo is really is my big worry. Like I
think it'll be like tear it of like a better defensive type and let it set up,
Yeah.
and I think it can go to town. Considering it has like one of the best boosting moves that isn't a Z move.
Yeah, which is good because the Z move would be banned.
Yeah, it does also like it feels like a mon that loves being able to just go Terra Electric, Terra Fire, or like just Terra Steel, and then just going from there.
Yeah, Terra Fire and Steel were two of the big ones I was looking at when I thought of that.
Yeah.
Because I think
Electric comes to mind because it does get Thunder Punch, and that also lets it have
really
like
can like
wave
air
immunity.
anything as long as it can like set up.
Yeah. Well, because Steel lets you flip your entire weaknesses into a resist on a turn, which can be really good. And you get to threaten two of those types, Fairy and Ice, which are your two main ones, super effectively.
Yeah.
Although you're already affected, hit the Fairies or the Ice, super effective with fighting type moves, but Komodo, it definitely has a lot of options here, which I think is really good. I think it'll be a solid Terra Captain. I think this is a very solid team. I think it's bottom of A tier.
Hell yeah, I'll accept that.
Hang on, let me just double check it with foes real quick. Is it above? Because I think you do have more win cons in foe. You have Ho-Oh, you have Komo-Oh. Okay, I think actually on second thought, I think this. I don't know what other people think on where it should go. Cause actually, I think it might be above those. Is it above Skye's? I don't think so.
I'm just happy being an A, really.
Yeah. All right. And moving on, we have Violet's team.
All right, I'll be bidding you guys adieu. Enjoy the rest of the rankings.
Not much longer.
See you, Maggie.
Bye,
Very
Maggie.
well.
All right, so on Violet's team, we have Palkia Origin, Mega Diancie, Volcarona, Zapdos, Solgaleo, Wochien, Terraglacian, the Dunsparce, Donphan, and Primplup.
Okay.
Yep. You want to go first, Aurora?
I've actually looked at this team a lot because I talked with Violet the other day about our teams. I at first didn't like this team because I just think Solgaleo kind of sucks as far as Ubers.
I agree.
She did pick it as far as just wanting a steel type though.
Okay, that's fair.
So I can almost understand it.
That makes sense.
However, I think this is a very good team still.
Interesting. Because I see some things in it I really don't like. I see some things I really like. I see some things I really don't like. So,
like the big thing I see here is that it hits very hard from both sides.
Yeah.
Just absurdly hard.
Palkia Origin is insane.
Yes.
Terra Volcarona, I think, is quite good.
I think Terra Volcarona is phenomenal.
Yeah. Won't talk about Solgaleo. I think Zapdos was a great pickup for this team. Terraglacian is great as far as lower points Terra captains. Donphan is one of my favorite rapid spinners.
It's one of the best rapid spinners.
That too.
Yeah.
I have something I will say about Terra Glaceon, but if we want to go through the rest of the team first, I would again.
I mean, you can go ahead.
Well, I wasn't so like I think this team is very good, especially like it's going to hit super hard. I think Solgaleo definitely feels like the main like physical threat on this team.
It is. You're never running Mega Diancie, like super physical.
You can run like play rough Diamond Storm body press sets, but it doesn't feel as good.
I like you're probably still running Diamond Storm, but you're probably only investing a little bit into attack for that.
Like because it can go full physical. It has the moveset for it. Hey Brady.
I'd just rather have Moonblast than play rough any day of the week.
I mean, I'm in the same boat as you. I feel the exact same way.
I hate play rough.
Yeah. Like even Natex's typical set is a mixed attacker. I think Terra Volcarona is phenomenal, probably one of the best Terra captains. On that note though, and this is why I said I was going to say about Terra Glaceon, I feel like when you have a Terra captain as good as Volcarona, when you kind of have like a little version of it at home with Glaceon, I feel it almost kind of comes off to me as like a little bit of a waste of points because I feel like...
When are you Terraing Glaceon?
Exactly.
Instead of Volcarona.
Yeah.
That's exactly
my
worry.
If you Terra Volcarona every game, why do you need a second one? That's a good point.
Terra Glaceon is just so good, but you are right as far as when would you ever Terra Glaceon when you have a Volcarona that can Terra on the bench?
Like, obviously the answer is like for stuff that is weaker to ice, but my other... Oh wait, never mind. Palkia. I was about to say I don't like the water type sprint, but Palkia Origin is right fucking there. I'm fucking stupid.
Fun fact: Wochen was a planned pick at one point, but Violet then said that she was picking Wochen, so I did not want to snipe her.
I think Wochen is fine. It's not obviously. It's never. Wochen is a flawed Pokemon. I think Zapdos is phenomenal on this team. I
love Zapdos on this team.
Like, I really wish this team had like a second Steel type, but I think this team's also missing two important types I wish we had, which is a Ghost type and a Grounded Poison. As far as like the weaknesses go, like I don't think the fighting weakness is too dire. Actually, yeah, because if Volcarona's tearing out of it, you're kind of just on Zapdos to eat fighting hits. Zapdos is really good at eating fighting hits though, because it does a lot of fighting types do not want to be paralyzed from static.
Yeah.
Again, like rock types as well. The team's kind of rock weak, but like Zapdos, Volcarona, happy to run shoes. Glaceon in a lot of cases probably happy to run shoes as well. You got a lot of good rockers. I kind of wish you had like another spiker. You've got very good hazard removal in Zapdos and Donphan. You're probably your go-tos. Just ever so reliable. You have solid. A lot of your momentum-based moves are kind of kept in your Zapdos. If your Volcarona is meant to be like your Terra endgame threat, I feel like you're probably not running. I think Solgaleo can run Teleport, but I feel like a lot of times it's going to be much more of like a D-Dance set, where I don't think you're running D-Dance and Teleport in the same set. Just with how the team is on the type chart, I think it is going to be like the reliable like physical carry of this team a lot of the time, and with that regard, it's probably not running Teleport. You do have solid knockoffs. The Dunsparce is a good Glare spammer. Your priority is kind of lacking. I think this team is probably the team that hits the hardest, especially. Like, on the special side, this team hits the hardest of any team. My two biggest issues... I have three big issues with the team, which is... First is the physical side, it's a lot more lacking. When one of the Pokemon that on your team with the highest attack stats is the Dunsparce, I feel like that might be a bit of a problem. But also, I think the Terra Glaceon, I feel like the points could be used elsewhere. I also do feel like you really kind of do want like a ghost or a poison type on this team. Like, I don't like that you don't have either of those, because those are very, very good types to have.
Yep.
But like, I think
Usually the.
Sorry, you go.
No, you go.
I was done speaking, so
Oh.
I was gonna wrap it up.
Like, it is kind of. This is mostly just because I usually don't use these types, but like, you know, usually if you're gonna not have a type, I think it's fine to not have like a rock, a bug, sometimes even not having like a flying type. I still think it's important for ground immunity, but you can make that work. Ghost especially, and kind of fighting as well to me, you kind of need to hit certain things. And I don't know how much you can cover without those, and with your Terras being Volcarona and Glaceon.
There's one thing I'm realizing about this team that I kind of has me a little bit more worried about it, and that is the fact that like the top 2 Pokemon speed-wise also are item locked, so no Scarfs,
Yeah.
which makes it really easy to outspeed this entire team. Because if you have a Pokemon that...
And I don't think Volcarona's going to be running a Scarf that often.
No, but it's going to be running Quiver Dance, but that's the point I was going to get to, is that like anything at like...
And you're not... Oh my god, wait. Are you going to want to Scarf like anything on this team?
No. So
Because even then, like, Zapdos and Solgaleo are not running sets that you're going to want to Scarf.
So Solgaleo is like similar to Volt.
Glaceon.
You can run Scarf Glaceon.
It's Glaceon. This
Yeah.
team is very bad to T-Spikes.
My Wu-Chien.
Yeah, that was my...
It's so bad to T-Spikes. If it's pre-Mega Diancie, you kind of just lose to T-Spikes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this team does not have the best speed control, but you do have Solgaleo with just Autonomize.
Oh, do you guys Autonomize? I was thinking D-Dance. Oh my god.
No, it's the best weakness policy setter in the
Yeah.
game. You just run Autonomize weakness policy, and that's what wins games.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be Solgaleo's job.
Yeah, Solgaleo's good. I guess Teleport too.
Yeah. I think you're very right about the like. I think the speed control and the like lack of T-Spikes are my biggest issues with this team, even more than the physical side thing. But like, I don't know what team's taking a like hit specially from this team is my biggest thought. I don't know.
Just AV mods.
Oh yeah, good point. So I guess where do we like? I don't think. My honest thought is it's above Ben. Is it between Ben and Goats and B?
I'm not one to ask. I've only seen this team.
Yeah, I'm looking at Goats' team for a second look. Oh, this is even Goats' team.
Definitely better than this team. I don't even.
Yeah.
No offense, but this team is not.
Well, this isn't even Blissey. This is Superior on the rail team. Yeah, this is above Goats. I think.
Yeah.
I do prefer your team, Aurora.
Thank you.
Moving on to the last team, and I think this is one of the best teams, is Zach's.
Oh my god.
Yep. All right, we have Mega Alakazam, Zacian, Crobat, Z-Kartana, Blacephalon, Urshifu Rapid, Murkrow, Raging Bolt, Piloswine, and Ariados.
I believe Zacian is the best Uber in this league.
Mm-hmm. It's that or Primal Kyogre.
I would say it's Groudon, but I just use Zacian, it's pretty good, but it's very limited in what it does. You just burn it. You literally just the way you beat Zacian is you just status it.
What's its like coverage move pool like nowadays? Like base.
You get
Zacian?
Ice Fang, you get Fire Fang, you get Iron Head, P-Jab. That's pretty much. And then you get fighting
P-Jab.
moves. You get P-Jab, yeah.
You get close combat.
I did run Trailblaze to get me a sweep.
I was gonna say the thing that the
Yeah,
type
beat
that.
Gaming.
Okay, I was gonna say it looks like it struggles into poison types, and I see psychic fangs, so clearly not.
It has the coverage moves, but you play around a lot with Foreman Syndrome. It's good. Don't get me wrong. It's very good.
Yeah, I think it does have.
It depends surrounding it in.
I think that the thing is, I think there's a very good team surrounding it as well, like a lot of other threats.
Yeah.
Where the bulk is Raging Bolt, but like
Yeah, there's not.
I don't see a lot of bulk.
It feels a bit
So
more
offensive.
like this is a Zac team, very hyper offensive for sure. Your bulk is Zacian actually. No.
Holy god, that's concerning.
But like, so it very much feels in the like compared to like Zach's team as well though. I think this or not Zach's Killer's team, which was also like very much more like a more offensive team. This feels like a better version of it. I mean, you're hitting higher speed tiers with frankly mons that do hit higher. You have a flying resistance this time. I think Z Cartana is actually kind of terrifying because it gets Tailwind.
I see something I don't like as far as Murkrow being the only Ghost Resist.
That could be a problem.
That could be a problem.
Yeah.
Like
You just run Choice Scarf Blacephalon and you're chilling.
yeah. I mean, I feel like you're usually running Choice Scarf Blacephalon. You don't have hazards, really.
You know, that's terrible. Yeah, you literally, I just saw you resort your only special defensive mon, not including Zacian, is a fucking Mega Alakazam, which is just not lovely.
And
Yeah, I'm sorry about Raging Bolt, but like your Raging Bolt, you want to run HP special attack almost every week.
Yeah, no, you do. You do.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be put in that role where it's going to be AV or it's going to be defensive and it's not going to enjoy its role that much.
I think you have decent pivot moves. I love Crobat as a defogger. I think Murkrow is a solid like low tier defogger option. Man, I wish this team had a Rapid Spinner. That would really help it. Obviously good priority options. Oh, those knockoffs are not good. Because that's like...
Cart runs it.
Cart runs it, yeah. But, like, these two aren't.
I think Gyarados actually comes to a lot more games.
I think so as well. I think Gyarados will legitimately showing up semi-frequently. Not every game, but, like, every 2, every 3?
Support mons are really good in Ubers.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this feels like a more hyper version of Killer's team from earlier, where it very much feels like it's a feast or famine kind of team. Where do we put?
Yeah, it feels like it could fall apart depending, but at the same time, there's like 5 Vermonts I do not want to take a hit from on this team at all.
Other than Zacian, you lose to priority. And I guess Raging Bolt. Like T-Spike priority, I feel like, but otherwise, yeah, nothing's out. I think it's probably the little I've looked, it probably looks like the most offensive team or best offensive team.
It's like it's between this or Killer's team.
Oh, at least they have bulk.
Sorta.
Their team is very fit. I guess you do have Genesect. I like their team a bit more personally.
You like Killer's team more?
But Zach's has more upside. Like he has more options to win games, but
Yeah.
Killers, I think, is more balanced.
Really?
Like Zach obviously has more
The one
more
thing is,
speed.
what coverage moves does Blacephalon have?
I'm pretty sure it's psychic, right? I feel like it does. Never used Cephalon, but I remember in the Ultra Sun Moon, I feel like it gets like a psychic move.
He gets expanding force. Oh, gets psychic. I think it's
Yeah.
energy ball.
To get solar beam, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there you
Does
go.
it not get energy ball? Oh. Wait, doesn't it get energy?
Oh,
Or
run
maybe
your
I'm
power
missing-
herb solar beam.
I swore it got energy ball.
Well, you do have 150 special attack and just boost that shit
Yeah.
with a shadow ball. You'll be fine to ground types.
Terra Fire
and
Flamethrower.
water types. Is it Terra?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it's even scarier. The only problem is you don't get Terra Blast, so.
No, yeah, that's
Good
why
luck.
I was looking at the coverage moves.
Well, yeah, it's not in Gen 9, none of the Ultra Beasts are.
Yeah.
So that's always
So it's like,
a bit of problematic.
so it's coverage moves. You got Psychic. You've got your Fire and Ghost moves, Solar Beam, and that's it. Unless you want to run like Rock Blast or Smackdown.
You can run a store power set.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know how you're gonna get those boosts up, but you can.
It's Calm Mind.
Good luck. Living a physical move.
So where do we want to put Zach's team? So Brady, I know you said you liked it less than Killers.
But I would well, it depends. Like usually, the way I play Pokemon is hyper offense, but I usually have two bulky guys.
Zach's also a
Personally, like, I
hyper
don't know,
offense player.
If you use Raging Bolt as that person, I guess it could be better. Like it does have the one of the best Ubers in Zacian. I'd put it by it. I'd put it over it at least. I don't know any of the teams in
This
A.
definitely feels like if you're not prepared to take hits from it, you're not going to do very well, considering how hard it hits.
Like I think I mean average speed of 99.
Especially with how fast it is as well.
I feel like
Yeah, it is very fast. One thing.
that's like
problem
that's
is
the big
like-
thing that has over Killers for me is like it's way faster.
Can you go back to sorry, yeah, can you go back to it just one more time? Yeah, I don't really like Cyclozar. It's kind of fake and Ubers. You need your spin off. Yeah, okay. Yeah, definitely a lot better speed tiers. I'd put it over
Yeah.
that.
Like I want to say this team is I think it's going to be I think the team our hardest issue this team is going to have is when can it set up and can it deal with like your hazards.
Would you want to put it in an A tier team?
I feel like it is
Like,
an A
who's
tier
about-
team. I don't like Zacian.
Would you want to look at like Skye or Soul, like somewhere in between? See if you feel like it more than them.
Yeah, let's look at yours again for Soul. Like it does really feel like that feast or famine kind of.
I personally would put that over that team.
You'd put Zach's over this team.
Just by an inch. Like this team has a lot of bulk, and you're kind of relying on Mega B as your fast offense. So that's why I'd put it over that. There's more upside in my opinion in offense in Ubers, but there is a ho-oh, so you can't say that entirely.
I think
Kind of contradicting, but
I think
yeah,
it
that's where I
might.
would go.
I think it might be between Soul and Skye then.
That makes sense.
Just because, like, I think Skye's team. I don't think it's above Skye's team, just because I think Skye's team has like yes, it has more bulk as well, but like I think it does have very good win cons as well with that bulk.
I think Zagarcy and McGiernan's nasty.
Yeah. and then
And I
Terraquack
think
Evolve.
Quack. Yeah, I think Terraquack is one of the things I was suggesting Allison to get.
Yeah, there's a reason I upped its points.
Yeah.
But I think that'll do it. Thank you to everyone who joined. And I'm going